Arca Bulls family, are you there? Throw some A's in the chat if you can hear your boys speak. What is up, my people? Good to see you all on this fine Sunday evening. I know it's actually some morning times out there, right? Some people listening to Arca in the early mornings in Sweden, I think Germany, right? Good stuff. Throw those A's in the chat if you haven't done so already. If you can hear your boys speak, throw those A's in the chat. What is up, you guys? Dustin White coming in so hot with a donation, my friend. Thank you so much. And what are you saying? Let's see. At work, can't watch live tonight. A separate CRTD update video to your last one a week ago, please. And thank you. Really enjoy your entertainment. Dustin White. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll definitely put it up for you. Are you talking about me doing a live? Oh, I know you're probably not here anymore, right? But you want me to cover it live, or you want me to make an actual video for it like I did the last time? That happens to be one of those tickers that I tend to stay away from, because I tend to get a lot of backlash from the community, right? Saying that I should not be looking at tickers like that, and I should never be looking at the technicals, right? So as the charts apparently do not matter whatsoever. Definitely not true, you guys. It is not true. We don't bag on other strategies, and we just accept the bagging from other strategies here, right? So just to keep it real, keep the sentiment down, right, you guys? But it's all good. As long as you have control over your trades, then it's all okay, right? So we actually have a great list already brewing for tickers that we have to review tonight. And, you know, the prep. I'm actually coming to you a little bit earlier than usual, right? So this is actually a very exciting thing for me. So moderators, how you doing? Mark Roach, Samantha H, DJ, how you doing? I'm not sure if I actually saw Hound in here, but hello, you guys. Really appreciate everybody for stopping by. I'm super happy to be streaming just a little bit earlier today, so this is actually a very good thing. Oh my goodness, that means that we can end a little bit earlier, maybe not have the people in the East Coast stay up until freaking 4 in the morning, right? So actually, I want to just go ahead and make a quick note here that for the ticker, let's see, that was CRTD that we have to take a look at for Dustin White, right? So I'm not sure if he's actually still in the chat, but he did say that he was at work, right? Power Gear, thank you so much for your donation, man. That is absolutely very kind of you. I will absolutely take care of my family with that, man. You know already, you guys. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for everybody stopping by. And I see you typing. I see you typing over there. What is up with that ticker? What is coin? Tell me the truth right now. Is that the decentralized coin from the Fed, or who is printing that? I've heard of it before, right? But I want you to be clear and upfront with me. What is it, man? Mark Roach, I did see you step into the. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. It was actually Cal. He actually told me, hey, Mark, he stepped into the court, and I'm like, oh man, what? That's awesome. So in doing that, you know, I was replying to like a million messages, so I totally forgot to come and say what's up to you. But hey, Mark, make sure to send me a DM, not a DM, a friend request in Discord, right? So that way we can actually message. But yeah, man, thank you so much for stopping by. I love it. And I noticed that you spelled your name just a little bit different, right? But it's all good. So let's go ahead and refer to the chat to see what the people are saying right here, man. Let's see. So smash that like button from Johnny Barnes himself. Of course, you guys, please go ahead and do that, okay? You guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. As we're coming in, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you do feel like joining the Discord trading community, Arca Bulls, please refer to the description below, where you will find that link to join the community. Okay, you guys, very exciting times, very exciting week coming up. I need you guys to be careful in the broader markets, okay, because we've already inflated a lot. we've already gone up a pretty substantial amount, so we have to make sure to watch our longs, okay, because we're at critical supports right now. If we break some supports on the broader markets, then we may be able to start getting short the markets, okay, you guys, but we must practice our risk management always, okay, you guys. So Paul V, good to see you, man. Eric Kimmel asking for that GTII. I did put up a very extensive video on GTII. That's actually for this Monday, my brother. So if we don't get to it, definitely rest assured that you can view it there. I'm not sure if you actually did see the actual video release that I put up on, I think it was on Saturday morning or Friday night. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out on those, okay? Because I actually did put up today as well a ticker that a lot of people have been asking me about, right? They've been asking me about that CEOS ticker, and I put up a video on that. That ticker actually still has some more upside to go. Can you even believe that? Like, CEOS has been pumping to the upside like nobody's business. But I think if I remember correctly, remember you guys, I don't practice any fundamental data, right? So if I remember correctly, I think CEOS was trying to get that thing done for their compliance listing, right? So I think they want to get to $1 or above. And I mean, it's getting pretty close. I actually am seeing within the 8 cents coming into next week. So keep an eye out on that ticker as well. Very good stuff for, I think, CTRM as well. Another ticker that we were looking at recently. This is just a huge back test that I still have to perform, but this one has already made some pretty good upside moves based on what we were looking at, right? I think American Airlines was another ticker that was doing some pretty good moves to the upside. Yeah, which is this one right over here, right? So this is a not such a violent mover, right? So you guys can actually take a look at the rating here that we gave it the last time, and it was an A-. So this is a pretty safe play as well, you guys. Very good stuff in the list here for the tickers that we're going to be reviewing, okay? I know a lot of people were talking about CLNV as well, and CLNV, actually, I am expecting some upside as well. I definitely posted that video up. Okay, so I am seeing the potential targets of between, I'd say, best case scenario, you know, early to mid this week, maybe about 8 cents, 8.43. So CLNV is still looking pretty good as well. Now, just to touch on GTII really fast, you guys. GTII, of course, it's a very popular ticker right now, and you know, we actually reached that critical resistance that we were talking about for some time. So let's just go ahead and refer to that real quick so that I can make sure that you guys know exactly what the play is. Okay, so this is that top side target that we were looking for, right? So please remember that the reason we were looking for this top side target of 294, it hit 298, right? But the reason we were looking for this 294 was because of the broadening descending wedge. Okay, that's where you take profit per the trading book rules of this formation. Okay, so it is only natural for us to find a heavy amount of resistance at that area. Okay, so actually, I think even CEOS had done something similar to that. Here you go. All right, so yeah, check this out. CEOS, broadening descending wedge, right? So we actually know that the take profit for this would have been 5.47 at 5 cents. We actually were looking at this target from the opening of this candle here at about 149. So it actually made the target, right? It surpassed the target, and then it faced this huge capitulation. See that, you guys? So that's actually a normal thing. It's a very normal thing. I know a lot of people were like saying he said normal for the price action on GTII. guys, well, first of all, GTII is not a normal asset whatsoever, but the reaction happening within these areas are absolutely normal per short seller positions, right? Scalpers, momentum traders. We kind of want that there, though. It's weird to say this. It's very strange to say this, but we do want those short sellers to come in and pressure it down so that we can reload some more longs and then launch to the moon. Oh man, guys, the ebb and flow of the markets is a really interesting thing. I know it can play with our emotions. I know that things can get really rowdy, right? But this is essentially what I'm expecting for GTII, okay? Just like CEOS, we come up to that target, we get rejected really hard, we face another demand zone right down here, and then we can allow even more bulls to get behind behind the asset and load this thing for a bigger upside thrust. This is literally what I'm looking for GTII. Okay, you guys. So GTII is still very much in the positive here. In fact, this sell-off candle, I mean, it came right back down to the supply, just like CEOS, right? I'm sorry, to the demand. So I don't know if any of you watch Eric Crown, right? So Eric Crown, he tends to talk about he tends to talk about tap that supply, bro. As soon as we tap that supply, we're gonna sell off, man. So so yes, guys, this is essentially that supply zone. We just we make a momentary, just I'm talking about temporary pullback, just like this right here, right? And then we can continue up to the upside. So everything is still looking good. The great part about this is that since the firing of the signal, what have we moved? Let's go ahead and check that out. So it's going to be from let's see, from the 45-cent zone, which I believed actually for a few people, they were asking me, hey man, just between me and you, what is going to be the lower end, or what's the target that you're looking for GTII, right? So I actually said when we were at about $1.20 or $1 something back here, right back here. So I told them, well, I'm actually looking at 30 cents, you know, so 30 cents is actually it shares a lot of confluence here with the bottom side of the broadening descending wedge. So I said 30 cents is I mean, the 3-spot 272s right there. It's a lot of relevance, and it looks like we could hit it within the next maybe 15 to 18 days, and then you know, probably a month we can actually start the upside. So they were saying, what, 30 cents? Like, what, are you serious? Like, why would it drop that low? So I told them, I mean, it's just, I'm just giving you a probability. It's not for sure, right? So what happened is that we ended up dropping the 45 cents instead of that 30, right? So then we started that upside. But the very cool thing is that the firing of the signal for the statistical signal did start here, and it essentially renewed right over here, resetting the time for about a month, right? 32.25 days to be very precise. And it looks like we have moved about 557.82% to the upside since that firing of the signal that we were talking about, for 3,000% to the upside, you guys. It's I know it's weird numbers. A lot of people saying, why would you say this to the retail? Why would you pump them like that? Why would you say numbers that aren't so realistic, right? So guys, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you unrealistic numbers. It's just what the math says. But to be fair, to be very fair, based on the backtest, I did catch one insane outlier. Okay, so that I actually have to still make the math, maybe excluding this iteration here. That was an 18,959% move to the upside. Maybe if I remove this one, then we could probably get a different target, right? More along the lines of the ones that we're facing now. So, but to tell you the truth, everything is still pitched to the upside. Even momentum versus volatility, everything is still in play. I'm talking about massive upside suggestions still, right? And we've already broken this year-long trendline regression rejection. So this is massively bullish for the asset, you guys. I'm very excited for whatever GTII has to talk about. Now, for those of you who are holding COSM, please remember that I did release a video on this as well. I was pretty, I mean, this, the triangle looks, it's feasible, right? We can probably rely on it, but there's still some loading zones that we can actually look into, which would then actually convert this into maybe a falling wedge, right? So the particular zones could be right down here at this, at the NOT 618 at about 522 cents. And that could be within about a day or two. But sentiment behind COSM is a little low right now. We still have made that massive upside. It looks like the asset is still waiting for some type of news catalyst or something. But just know that I'm waiting for a small pullback on this, followed by a reaccumulation period, right? Maybe some consolidation, and then we could continue that upside move. This has already surpassed the statistical average that we were waiting for. I think it was a 100.378% move to the upside. It moved about 150% of that. So everything is still looking good for COSM, guys. I just want to go ahead and kind of touch on the tickers that we've been looking at for some time now, right? So that we can move faster and faster. So I know I have actually a lot of requests still coming in. Please know that the early requests coming in for the Discord are still being respected as well. Particular to T Wood, he's actually asking me for that ticker symbol BGXX that we actually did not get to look at the last time. And I noticed that there's a few people here asking about that ticker as well. Chris, you want to look at, I'll put it on the list, my brother. If we do have that time, let's get to it, right? So you said DBMM? Okay. All right. Yeah, no problem. We'll go ahead and put it right on there. Okay, you guys. Sebastian Lim coming through the chat. What is up, my buddy? Yeah, absolutely, man. GFAI and Tesla. Oh my goodness, man. Tesla is just a ripper, right? That thing has been making some amazing moves. Mark Roach, I still owe you some tickers as well, my dude. So, yeah, not a problem, man. So you want me to look at, I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that actually need me to look at that ticker symbol, MULN. And Chase Cross, I had that in the list for today too, in respects to, I believe, I think it was maybe the Thursday stream, sorry, for Friday. Somebody asked me about APRN, and I actually was not able to get to it. But what's going on with that ticker, you guys? APRN, is that I heard some pretty good stuff on Twitter and stuff, right? But you know, we can't always rely on Twitter, as there are a lot of pumpers in that space. But what can you tell me about APRN, as a lot of people are actually requesting that? So I'm excited to look at it for you, man. No problem at all. So Mark Rose, you want to look at that ticker symbol MULN? Yeah, cool stuff. So please remember, guys, that Tesla, MULN, AMC, those tickers are very much reliant on the broader market price action. Okay, you guys. So we have to make sure to keep an eye on like the SPY or the, you know, the S&P 500. I'm talking about the SPX maybe, you know, so that we can see the potential weaknesses. I mean, $4,200 SPX is absolutely bullish, you know, and that's it's also kind of overextended. We may need to take a short-term break. I am in the belief that we may have already put in the bottom, though. I'm talking about macro bottom, so that could have already happened a couple months ago. But so the process in reversing from that macro bottom could be in play right now, but we could be at that overextension right at me. I'm talking about presently. So a pullback within the next few days, maybe a week or two, that it's gonna happen, right, you guys? So I just want you to be aware of what the broader markets are doing, okay? Because I think it's been 4 weeks of just upside for the broader market space. Okay, you guys. So yeah, I want to start loading up a few of the tickers that we need to look at, right? So I actually got out of the, by the way, I also released another video, and that was for ticker symbol SPY. I'm sorry, SPY. It was a Tide, TYDE, which I believe is the one that it's Cryptide. I think it's tied to BBIG. So I did release a video on that. If anyone is curious, I think Jason was the one who was asking me about that ticker, but that one is out as well. And T Wood, yeah. Let me go ahead and make sure that I do have that ticker as well. So I remember Luna was actually asking me about APRN as well. So I'll make sure to cover that one. I actually owed her this one. It was from the last stream. So we'll start off with APRN, you guys. And also T Wood, I know you also have been waiting for me to look at that ticker symbol BGXX. Is that BGXX? Is that one of those gaming tickers, or what's going down with that one? What's up, KYP? Good to see you here. Good to see you. Power Gear, not a problem, man. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you for you to share that with me. And okay. So we have another request for TRKA. I'll go ahead and put it on the list, you guys. Please remember that if I can't actually get to it, I'll owe you one, right? But TRKA is now on the list as well. Chase Cross, 535 for COSM. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too, man. Maybe around 520 where we can meet that NOT 618. That could be a pretty good loading zone. I don't disagree with you whatsoever, so everything is good, man. Rick Lavers, Rick, what's up, man? So need a back test on AMC. Yes, we actually need to do that back. I already started it too, so I should probably have it ready. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have it ready tonight, but very likely to tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, the AMC, you guys know I'm a little touchy about that, but it's still showing massive upside. So in fact, I know I got a request in the beginning of this stream here to look at that ticker symbol AMC. So I'll go ahead and put it there too. So guys, did anyone here request that ticker symbol FOXO? And does anyone know anything about that? Because if it's irrelevant, then you know, then maybe we shouldn't look at it or whatever. But if there was interest in that, then sure, we can go ahead and add it to the list and take a look at the possibilities for that ticker symbol FOXO. If anyone is familiar with that, go ahead and chime in the chat and let me know what the deal is with that one, right? So and yeah, let me just go ahead and make sure to put that AMC ticker in there. And so far, you guys, what I am looking at here are ticker symbol APRN, BGXX, we have MULN, we have Lucid, and arguably that ticker symbol FOXO, right? So we'll take a look at that. We have AMC, we have CRTD. I want to do GTAI deep, but I already released that video, and that's explaining pretty detailed what I'm doing or what I'm expecting, right? So DBMM, and we have TRKA as well. So DJ moderator, what's up, man? So FOXO is an AI stock. AI has been hot lately, yes. And I also sorry guys, I actually have to add one more ticker to the list too, and that's actually for ticker symbol AI, as somebody actually requested that in Twitter. So I believe Moon Market was actually talking about ticker symbol AI, and it has made some pretty substantial moves, which is pretty cool, right? If you guys are still long that ticker, I hope that you're in the green. I'm not sure how overextended that was, but the last time we looked at it, which I think was on Thursday, it still had upside to go. So FOXO Technologies Inc. So it's a life insurance industry. Thank you so much. Johnny Barnes, what's up, man? So so you're long AI. Okay, that's cool. And Sebastian Lim, I still have your tickers right here. I'm sorry, dude. I totally didn't read them out loud. So let me go ahead and jot those down as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put them right after MULN, and that's sorry, you said GFAI, I think, if I remember correctly, and also Tesla, right? Tesla, wow, man, that one has been just gnarly. It was crazy because I actually released the analysis on Tesla saying that it was just massively bullish, and I was also massively bullish on the markets too. And then the next day it sold off, and then the following day everything went to the green. This is crazy how sometimes timing in the markets is actually one of the least important things for me, because you should probably figure out timing later, right? You should really get to know your rules first and understand the market flow. Cal L, sorry I'm late, was trying to help. Okay, gotcha, man. That's cool. No, please don't. I actually tried to start this session a little earlier so that I can be able to get more viewers in here from the East Coast, and I've been getting these requests all the time, and to tell you the truth, it's helped a lot being in the weekend, you know, and having the wife here take care of my toddler and stuff. So as you know, she's got work and stuff, so I have to kind of accommodate for him during the day as I work on all of this stuff. But yeah. So I included Sebastian Lim. I actually included your ticker request. That was GFAI and Tesla. Okay, so far, you guys, let's go ahead and HLS Arca Bulls. That is right, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also the Discord trading community, Arca Bulls. The link is located in the description below for you guys to check out. Okay, stop by, say hi to the people there. Very awesome community. I couldn't ask for a better audience, you guys. So T Wood saying, yeah, super early on this live. The shorts are awake. The shorts are awake. Sebastian also saying shorts are watching this live stream. We are gonna point the shorts out. You guys, I'm actually short biased too, but I don't be shorting things like that. You know what I mean? It's tiny bankrolls here. And I'm definitely not gonna be shorting AMC because I don't want my money to go down. My goodness. Mark Roach, Arca Bulls rules. You rule, my bro. Thank you so much. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and go over that list one more time. So we have APRN, we have BGXX, MULN, GFAI, Tesla, we have Lucid. I'm probably gonna guys, so was it a yes or a no for that ticker symbol FOXO? Go ahead and let me know in the chat if it's a yay or a nay for FOXO. Okay, we have AMC, AI, CRTD, GTII, DBMM, and TRKA. And I'm still a little bit on the fence about talking about GTII once again, but please remember that I did release that video, which is pertinent to tomorrow, or some of you today, right? So yes on FOXO. Okay, I'll go ahead and leave it on there. I remember it was actually a requested one from Friday, so I owe it. Okay, so you just know for a fact that I'm gonna respect it. I still owe it. DJ, yes on FOXO. Okay. All right, so hey, Biana, how you doing? Wayne Wood, yes on FOXO. Okay. All right. That's good, guys. Thank you. I'll make sure to keep it on the list. Okay. So, is MM? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation, dude. Really appreciate that, you guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by. So, guys, one more thing before we get our chips sorted here. If you are interested in acquiring the Crypstex ARC-Series indicators, please go ahead and refer to the links in the description below for Twitter. Send me a DM there on Discord as well. You can also find my email here in the About section of the YouTube profile. Okay, it's going to be under business inquiries only, and we'll talk about the subscription packages. If you are interested, please know that this TradingView software is absolutely required for you to be able to have visibility for the indicators. Okay, so you won't be able to see these indicators unless you have TradingView already. Okay, so TradingView is a whole separate subscription. You just have to, you go to them and figure that out, and then you would come to me for the loading of these indicators as they are written in the native code or native language that TradingView offers, which is Pine Script. Okay, you guys. So T Wood is actually one of the newest members. Thank you so much for joining the Crypstex trading community, my friend. So guys, remember that upon joining the Crypstex trading community, you actually will get access in the Discord to the Arc Edge Trades channel, where I usually post up my exact plays. So you'll be able to gain visibility to the exact play per ticker, right? So we evaluate them the night before, and then we put together the play, and then the play is, it's crystal clear, right? For all of you to see and for all of you to benefit from, use, throw away, however you want, right? You guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, you guys. We're about just a minute away from getting this ticker picker on the road. So let's go ahead and take a little sip of water here so we can make sure to clear that throat, right? T Wood, thanks so much again, brother, for joining that. Really appreciate you. Mark Roach, make sure to send me that DM or that friend request, right, so that we can talk. And Chase Cross, you're saying FOXO is still to the upside? Wow. Why? It's who said insurance? It was an insurance industry thing? Okay, but why? Why are they pumping to the upside? What is FOXO doing that's so amazing that's going to make us money? Let me know in the chat what it's doing, you guys. Good deal. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start loading up these tickers. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up first. I know I still have that music going, right? I'll friend request you if that's I'll friend request you, my dude. I'll remember to do that. So let's go ahead and start dimming down the music and getting this thing on a serious note. Serious note. So then we can start our analysis. Good deal. All right. So we were talking about ticker symbol APRN. Okay. So Kal-El, dab on what is up? Okay. So we already had a preload for that. So very cool here. Very cool. Let's see, ticker symbol AI, right? So we looked at it. There's still two. This is the one right here. Okay, so moderators, go ahead and take a look at the chat. Tend to the members here, and then we will go ahead and officially start off the analysis here on ticker symbol APRN. 8:55 p.m. Miraculous times here, you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So please, guys, remember, okay, chat, remember this. We all, for the newer tickers, not particular to this one here, we always play this rate the trade. Okay, so keep an eye out for the details of the ticker. We're going to be talking about everything, and then we'll rate it together as a community when we're done. Okay, but in respects to this one, this was rated a B and a half. I'm sorry, a B and a half. It was rated a B minus. Just a few days ago, right? So let's go ahead and touch bases on what it has done. Okay, so ticker symbol AI absolutely met the target. Okay, so it just like the broadening wedge, the broadening descending wedge, just like it always does. Okay, I don't want to say always. It's just very, very seldomly. Often it does. Okay, so it fails sometimes, but for the most part, this anxiety here is actually real in the markets. So the take profit for this was located at about 27.30. So the candle actually reached all the way to 28.48. So very good stuff here. Let's go ahead and find out to see if we're going to retrace what's happening, right? So let's refer to momentum and go back down, all like we always do, in the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute. So the 30-minute time frame is still suggesting an upside continuation. Oh, guys, I'm looking at AI, right? Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and why did I start AI first? We said APRN for Luna. Mark Roach, let me go ahead and restart this all over again. Sorry, guys. Let's do APRN, and I realized just now, and nobody noticed. Unless you did and you didn't say nothing. Just making Arca look like a fool. What is going on with everybody here? All right, so let's go ahead and start it off with APRN, and that is going to be my edit 1. Okay, you did? Thanks, man. I appreciate you. You said 855 APRN, and we're over here looking at the whole ass wrong ticker. Okay. Oh, wow. So we actually did get that downside, right? So, and this is particular to the monthly chart. Let's go ahead and load up one more iteration of this, of momentum, so that we can make sure to just move it along quickly. Oh, man. Stop messing around. And look at that. Already dropping some viewers because I messed up. Ooh. All right. So, very good thing here. Let's go ahead and officially start it now again, okay? I'm doing it at 8:57 p.m. Apologies for that, guys. Caught me slipping here while I'm typing. Okay. All right. So, first of all, let's go ahead and just recap what's going on with APRN. This is this is a descending channel. We've been riding since let's see, September 8th, 2022. Okay. So this is usually known as a reversal pattern. So these patterns actually tell us that we're going to continue on to the upside. A very interesting thing here in price action, actually, that I didn't notice the last time, or it's just now visible, is the fact that we could be in the process of breaking out of a descending triangle here. So it looks like it would be something like this here, right? And the support levels would be literally just, where's my line? Literally at the bottom of these two candles, just like this. And the price objective of this, if you remember, you'll know right away. So take a trend line from the hypotenuse of the triangle to the lowest point of the triangle, and then you can get a price objective for this formation. Okay, so based on psychological components here. So we apply it to the breakout point, and it's telling us that we should be moving up to about 139. The candle here moved up to 132, so that's pretty fair. Okay, it's already fair, but this candle following it, very green and still very bullish. Okay, also the fact that we're getting a massive amount of volume, still a little bit of decreased volume here, because that's usually happens when we face that resistance or the price objective touch. Okay, so now let's find out to see if there is or could be a continuation to the upside per this formation. Okay, another thing that I want to remind you guys about is that I usually tend to keep my gaps in place, right? So let's go ahead and take note of that gap, and please notice that in the price action we have used literally the resistance of the gap. We've used it twice now, so we're knocking at that door. Okay, so the relevance of these gaps are pretty they're pretty important. Okay, so this is another gap right over here that we can just keep note of. I'm not saying that we're going there just yet. I'm just saying that it's probably wise for us to just keep it in mind. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at volatility versus momentum. So volatility represented by this indicator, BBWP, you can actually see that we went to full contraction here, and now we're starting to expand. Volatility is direction neutral. The way we can get the bias for direction is we pair it with stochastic momentum. So the stochastics oscillator is actually pivoted towards the upside on a daily. We have to give this, I would personally give this some weight. Another thing that we could be looking at here is the succession of a trend line regression. So it looks like we actually are following at least on the D%, which is the 3-day exponential moving average within the stochastics momentum. Okay, so you have a 14-day simple and a 3-day exponential. Okay, so this could be that support bottom before a continuation to the upside. We can continue validating that upside, and we can do that with RSI. Okay, so let's go ahead and just load up the RSI here, and we're going to start off just like we always do on the immediate short-term 30-minute. So 30-minute time frame is suggesting some consolidation, some sideways trading, very much in correlation to what was happening here at the last part of the trading session on Friday. So let's go ahead and move on to the buy hourly, and let's see. Sorry, I was just reading you, Mark Roach. Okay, so we have a pretty nice setup here on the buy hourly. We could be facing a little bit of resistance from that 14-day moving average, but we're pressuring it to the upside. Please notice the position of your RSI signal under the bull strength percentile. Okay, so you have the bull strength percentile right up here, and this is the bull weakness percentile. Okay, just inversely the same thing, bear weakness and bear strength. When we're at the border here, we're usually at something called a gravitational zone. We can actually get pulled into the following zone. Okay, so in this particular case, this is still suggesting a little bit of consolidation. And why could that be? Well, we have the 14-day simple moving average from the RSI, which is stock, it's standard. It's above us. So we can actually face the resistance from the 14-day simple and also from the gravitational zone. Okay, so those are areas that we have to kind of be careful or keep an eye on, right? So another thing is that we have been kind of failing that 14-day simple, but recovering it. So this may very well be another one of those iterations. Bi-hourly inverted hammer at the top of a trend is usually not that good of a thing, but it's bi-hourly. So the shorter the time frame, it's not going to succeed as much or as good as a higher term time frame is what I'm trying to say. So let's move on to the 6 hour and see what momentum has to offer. So 6 hour is actually right in that gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, still suggesting some upside to go. Very cool. 12 hour is in the grips of the bull strength percentile. I said bear, right? So please know that I'm talking about bull strength percentile. And yeah, we're still in the grips of the bull strength there. Let's go to the daily. Daily is still suggesting upside. So guys, we're going to face a little bit of consolidation for the following trading session. Maybe a little, I'm talking very, very slight bearishness, but this is buy daily still suggesting upside right at the border between the bear weakness and the bull weakness, suggesting an upside continuation still. 14-day simple still suggesting that upside. This is likely to move up for days to come, right? Before a little bit of a pullback, maybe tomorrow, consolidation period, like I said. So 5-day and weekly both pivoted to the upside as well. So let's go ahead and look at a potential area for reloading for this. So we're going to use the 12-hour time frame and just refer to the immediate short terms. I'm talking micro time frame. So okay, so 15 minutes suggesting that downside and 5 minutes. So this gives us a good gap or a space, right, for us to consider a long position. So now we're going to just take a range since it's so short term, 5 minutes, right? So I'm going to use a range of the 4 hour using a fib retracement, and I'm going to do it in an inverse manner. And I am also going to do it from an overall range. So I'm going to do it from this wick low to the wick to this wick high. Okay, so overall range here. So let's go ahead and do it just like that and see what we have in store for us. Okay, the most obvious target right now would actually be right at the wick low of this candle here, located literally at that 0.618 at $1.15. And if we were to pair another another time frame would actually be best for us to load up some SMAs and see what we have. Okay, so yeah, the support area is actually a range, and it would be between the SMA 10 and the NOT 618. So that's 114 to 115. Let me go ahead and put some exponentials here, and then we'll have this finished up. Let's see, EMA 7 and the 30 should be good. Okay, if we have this could be your first loading zone. Okay, so 117, and you have your next targets right after that. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna make a horizontal line here. Okay, so yeah, so now for the upside targets, first of all, we do have a heavy amount of resistance here, right at the 129 level. But if you're talking about scalping this, your take profit would likely be at the NOT 236 at $1.25, just shy of this $1.29 resistance, right? Another thing that we do have to keep in mind is that we have this on the 4-hour chart for traders. I'm talking about for traders who are trading the short term, right? Please notice a 200-day simple moving average also we're using it as a resistance. Okay, so this is highly likely that we can find some resistance before we can just continue pushing. But everything after tomorrow, potentially after Tuesday, is still suggesting the upside. Okay, so this is it's a very bullish setup here. And overall targets, we can go to the 12-hour and take a daily range. So let's go ahead and just remove some of these. Yeah, I want to remove this fib here and go ahead and take the daily range. So the 12-hour chart actually shows you 2 candle iterations per daily range. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing the 12 hours is because it actually shows us the aftermarket close. So we have 121 on the 12-hour and 120 at traditional market close. So let's take a fib traditionally, right, from the swing high to the swing low of the day's iteration, and the upside targets are okay. So it's a range, right? But we need to battle through this, and it's likely going to touch by maybe mid to end this week. Please remember that we have, I think, CPI coming out. So that's going to drastically affect how everything moves. Okay, but if we do get that upside, the loading zone would be obviously between that 114 and 117 area. And the first take profit zone would honestly be literally right around here, 141 to about 145, followed by, let's see, potentially the 2.618, maybe the end of the week to next week at 161. Okay, you guys, and then we'll go ahead and touch bases with this. But if FOMO applies, this is invalidated entirely, and this thing can just rocket ship to the upside. Please remember that. Okay, you guys, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol APRN. So things are looking very good for this, I'm not going to lie. So that was officially ending at 9:08 p.m., right? So, yeah, that's not bad. And what's the float on this? Are we talking micro float here, or what is this? So 15 million, okay. And the market cap is at 47 million. So high risk. Yeah, obviously you guys know this. So it's a bit high risk, but it does have some upside, and I do believe that we can actually succeed that upside. Chat, go ahead and chime in. What are we giving this? D- would be your max loss for the day. D+ would be your break even. C+, high risk with upside, potential downside, right? So we have to respect that. But what are we rating this, you guys? So Mark Roach giving it a solid B-. Okay. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. Chat, go ahead and chime in. What are we rating APRN? This is actually still facing some pretty good upside. Samantha H giving it a B. Okay, I like it. I like it. And this is and I'm talking upside for a few days. So this is not a bad thing at all. So Nick giving it a C+. Very, very wise. Okay. Nobody giving this a B+ trade. So B+ trades are absolutely heavier portfolio, means upside is imminent. And make sure to take care of that risk management like always, right? So if I'm just going to give you my personal opinion, you guys, but please remember that it doesn't have to be mine at all. It's please favor your strategy and maybe just use mine as a type of validation to your beliefs, right? please remember to trade your strategy and be inspired to create and make sure to innovate, right? So in this case, we're going to do a long rating. And if you guys remember, I'm not gonna rate shorts anymore. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and rate longs. And if there is a favorable short position, then we'll leave it as no rating. Okay, you guys. But in my personal opinion, because we have a micro float, because we have a low cap, micro cap, right, or just under that. So I would actually honestly have to give this a C plus because it does have the upside still going for it. Okay, you guys. Otherwise, if this thing was just at about, let's say a market cap of about a top side $1 billion and the float maybe 500 million, then this would be a solid B plus for sure. AI is definitely in the list for us to take a look at. And it looks still, I think it looks still bullish. All right, so this is officially ending now, actually. So let's go ahead and put this at 9:10 p.m. for ticker symbol APRN. Let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, and that is going to be BGXX. Okay, you guys, let's see what we have in store for BGXX. Okay, so we actually haven't looked at it before, so we'll start off a new chart. All good, you guys. Make sure to hit that like button if you are new to the chat, you guys. Helps with the algorithm. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are interested and in looking further into the Arca Bulls family. Okay, you guys, very good stuff. Very good stuff. So BGXX, let's go ahead and see what it has under the hood. I'm officially gonna start BGXX 9:11 p.m. Pacific, of course, right? So, all right. So moderators, go ahead and take a look at this, the chat, and I will continue on the analysis here. Okay, so just like always, guys, let's go ahead and just refer to a daily chart and see the setup there on a logarithmic set. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Do we have any type? What I'm looking for always, guys, at the very beginning of any ticker is just an obvious setup. Could there be a channel? Could there be something that we have been writing, right? So I'm just going to give you a quick example. So could this be it? Let's see. To the red candle, right? Could this be a channel that we're writing, right? Like this. Is it a potential? We don't know, but we have to at least give it the potential or the possibility. So if this is actually breaking out in the very rare test number 1, and we're already making this top trend line into a support, then this could be bullish. And it could, is this a, so who said that? Oh, T Wood saying BGXX announced last Wednesday capital raised from EB5 program projected to generate over 7,100 direct and induced jobs in New Mexico and across the U.S. Interesting, because that's actually bearish for the broader markets. Announced it has begun a review of the trading patterns of the company's common stock since its listing. Okay. And will monitor the stock activity going forward. Okay. Well, I mean, it seems like the people are liking what they're doing. So this is still good. MULN is on the list, and it's actually right after this ticker here. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up some moving averages and see what we have in store for BGXX. Not enough trading information, of course, you guys. This thing has just been trading for, just a little under a year. So obviously, I get it's a little. See, the 200 moving day average is barely showing here, and we are facing resistance from it. Okay, so I can already see that this is on a potential downtrend, but reloading for this could be at 95 cents. Let me load up the exponentials and see if could be a little bit of a higher target. There we go. So the range could be between 110 and 96 thus far. Okay, so let's go ahead and load up momentum and see what we have. Okay, so start off with that 30-minute just like we always do. And I may even consider a 15-minute into this because there's really not that much information for us to go off of. Upside continuation for the 30-minute, but it looks very limited. Okay, so that 30-minute immediate short-term upside could face resistance at that 14-day simple moving average, which could be at about $1.30. But let's see what's moving along with the bi-hourly. So bi-hourly is suggesting a little bit of consolidation here. It's well within the bull strength percentile, so still good. All right, the 6-hour time frame is suggesting a small pullback, very likely to be at about 116, similar to the 30-minute. We can actually see how we use this as support once, and it looks like it may actually use that again. In the 6-hour term in particular, we may actually dive right back in, reclaiming the bull strength percentile. In that case, we would actually use both the 14-day simple moving average and the gravitational zone as a form of support before a continuation to the upside. Let's see the 12-hour. 12-hour consolidation still, okay, but still with an upside suggestion from the 14-day simple. And this looks a bit corrective on the daily. I wish this pivot could be a little longer, and then I would favor it, but it's still an upside pivot. Okay, bi-daily upside, 3-day corrective, 5-day. Let's see, we can't see that yet, huh? Okay, 5-day is still upside. Okay, so there is a little bit of indecision still in the sentiment behind this, right? But like I said, I am going to favor that $1.16 zone per the 6-hour. I think it looks like the 6-hour is a little more pertinent. $1.16 to about $1.11 would be the range to load here. But to tell you the truth, I don't like that there's enough validation for an upside just yet, and that usually is a sign that it may have lived through it already. So if this is going to continue to the upside, I'm talking about rocket ship to the upside, probably a little more of a catalyst can be used for this. It's in a bullish setup already. I really don't like to call this pattern because it fails a lot, but this is a bull flag. But again, please remember when I say this, okay, this fails a lot. Okay, so it's becoming now a bull trap instead of a bull flag. So I want you to be careful with this, especially when we're at resistance from the 200-day simple on a 12-hour. We can't see the 200, of course, in the daily. So that's why I mean by my edge is a little bit diminished when we don't have enough historical value. But I mean, if there could be some upside, it would be after a few days, maybe into the end of the week. Maybe mid to end of this week, we could probably see a continuation to the upside, but that upside may be limited, and I honestly think that upside could be limited to our current wick high, and that could be at about $1.49. So at best, this, in my opinion, this could probably be just a scalp, and that's it. So T Wood saying that was what I was thinking. I was seeing a bull trap. Now, bad move on my part. Okay, but we live and learn. But T Wood, there's still the room here. After consolidation for a few days, though, so we can actually see an upside here, and it would likely come right under the actual wick. So if the wick is at $1.49, then the take profit could honestly be at, let me see. It could honestly be right at the wick high of this candle here, which could be at about $1.42. So just to take profit earlier, right? So, but that wouldn't happen until the end of the week. So be careful with this one, okay? So, like I said, this would be a very short-term scalp or momentum play or day trade at best, but I wouldn't actually hold this one here. So BGXX saying, Mark Roach saying BGXX float 43 million and the cap is at 215 million. Wow, that is it's such a why is that float? It's the float, man. It's a bit small. But still, this is it's not too unsafe of a play. It looks like the news already played out, so it looks like it may need more validation, right? So it still has a little bit of upside thrust before a continuation to the downside. And please know that if that downside is relevant and retail tends to respect it sometimes, then this gap would be used as support first before we can cover it. So meaning that after maybe a week and a half or 2.5 weeks, this can actually potentially touch the 65-cent zone before facing a bounce and testing the opening of this candle here at about 92, which would then start encouraging this to continue its path along this descending channel and actually start playing by the rules, right? So test number 1, 2, 3, capitulation, 4, all the way down to wherever it's going to be, right? So that is going to do it for ticker symbol BGXX, and we're going to officially end this at 9:19 p.m. Oh, sorry, let's not officially end it. Sorry, chat, what are we rating this for the longs? Like I said, I'm just honestly looking for a short term scalp on this. Okay, so that would be as much as I would say. So 142 was the take profit area for this. 116 was the loading zone. 116 to 111 was the loading zone before a move like this. So this is very short term. Okay, but go ahead, chat, and chime in. What are we rating this? D- to A+. So Samantha H saying C, Ed Princeton giving me a D, Mark Roach with a C-, Chase Cross with a D. See what I mean? See, based on the sentiment, Chris, thank you so much. That's a C-. Based on the sentiment within us already, last week thought a B tonight, right? And then nobody giving this a C+. So I would honestly say we're gonna rate this in two ways, right? So for the day trader, meaning momentum or scalp trade, this in a week, maybe, or a week's time, or just maybe into the middle of this week, we can give this maybe a C+, right? But if you're longing this to literally for a long hold, I wouldn't suggest that. So this would be actually, in my opinion, a solid D for a long overall rating, right? So we'll go ahead and put that as just a solid D, in my opinion, right? You guys, remember, it doesn't have to be mine. Merge it with yours. So Sfarag giving me a C as well. Yeah, you know what? It's a C+ in my opinion for a short-term scalp, but that's it. And that's honestly just, it's very speculative. So we have to just keep an eye on the technicals in this and then see if it actually can make that upside based on a heavy amount of discretion here. Okay, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol BGXX, officially ending at 9:22 p.m. Let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker. We're going to look at ticker symbol MULN, MULN Automotive. I know this ticker has been doing a substantial amount of upside recently, right? So I'm excited that some of you are starting to see those profits, but I would honestly be very careful over what could be happening with MULN in the following days. Okay, so this is still a broadening descending wedge, and we've actually done, let's see, 1, 2, 3 tests. If the broader markets recover, oh man, this can make a very rare breakout. Okay, but we got a good jobs report. I'm sorry, we got a terrible jobs report, and then we had a good CPI read, which actually led to the upside. Or what was it that we got that was a positive? The expectations for something. I'm sorry, it was the rate hike, the 25 bips. So we did get a good upside on this, right? So terrible jobs report so far. I'm not sure if the markets have already priced that in. 9:22 p.m. Thanks, my dude. 9:22 p.m. Okay, perfect. So I'm not sure if the broader markets have already priced in the horrible, and there's a lot of speculation happening within the jobs report, by the way. Yeah, Kal-El saying, see, that's what I mean. Apparently labor is actually giving us a false report. The numbers didn't match. You know, we're talking about what was it? Farm adding 517,000 jobs. That's bearish. That's terrible. We don't want to hear that. You know, so I'm not sure if it's already been priced in, and it's obvious that the sentiment may be, in a sense, denying that or waiting approval, right? So the next biggest thing would be a good CPI read. I actually have to look into it. I'm not sure what the expectations are right now, but if we do get a good CPI read, this would essentially continue on to the upside. And I think this could, when is CPI? Is that coming in on, yeah, Kal-El, I agree. Is this coming in actually on Wednesday? or is it actually the 14th next week? I think it was for the CPI data. I know a lot of people are going to wait for core CPI as well, PPE and PPI. So we'll find out all those things, but there could still be another 2 weeks of upside for MULN. February 14th. Yeah. So okay. So February 14th is CPI, and that date, whatever, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just warn you right now. Okay, we're still talking about MULN, but I want to go ahead and kind of broaden the perspective a little bit. We need to prepare for this. We need to have it on our calendars that that February 14th will be the CPI date. Okay, so we don't know what that data is going to be. Okay, so if it's below expectations, we can face a continuation to the upside in the broader markets. But if it's above the expectations, then we're gonna capitulate, because then people are gonna psychologically match it to a false report in jobs, and saying now we have two negative catalysts. The markets will face that downside. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that Valentine's Day CPI, man, interesting. I hope it's good. So what I'm trying to say is that in preparation for this, keep those longs in. Keep those longs in to maybe 2 days prior to the CPI data release, because you playing the markets on tickers like AMC, MULN, Tesla, all those, playing the markets is essentially a gamble. Okay, so I understand that there's a lot of money to be made, but also know that there is a huge possibility to capitulate regardless of what the CPI is before a recovery if it is good. Okay, so if it's bad, then it'll capitulate, right? So if it's good, it can capitulate and then recover. You don't want to be caught in that stop loss. You don't want to be caught in that loss, okay? Because trust me, that's not okay. All right, guys. So definitely keep in your minds, keep in your books, in your calendar, CPI on the 14th of February, and consider removing risk from the markets within those dates. Okay, do not gamble. Do not gamble your portfolio. Okay, there's going to be massive opportunities coming up. We don't have to be there. Okay, a lot of the times OTCs, those pennies, they actually move by their own rules, so they don't always follow the overall broader market trend. Okay, so as expected. So I would urge everybody to kind of just watch out for those dates. Okay, so in respects to the broader market still moving to the upside, I'm favoring the upside for MULN. Okay, so I want to refer to. And actually, this SMA 10 has been moving to the upside very, very nicely. Okay, so let's refer to the 30-minute immediate short-term momentum. Okay, so we actually are facing a little bit of resistance here for some reason. Let's see. I want to validate within the 15-minute now. Okay, so the 15-minute is actually making a bullish cross. So if you were to actually view the momentum or RSI the way I do, think of it like this. Okay, so your 5-minute would essentially bleed into the 15-minute. 15-minute bleeds into the 30, right? Hourly to the bi-hourly, and so on. So you have to try to envision how that timeline moves within your time frames. Okay, it's a little difficult for you to be able to determine how far a daily candle iteration or section goes, but just to give you an idea, when you start seeing formations like this on a daily iteration, take your measuring tool. Okay, you can actually find it. I believe it's right here, right? You go down here and you choose date and price range. So just so you can gain an idea as to how long a wave can take from one high to the next high, use this, okay? You can actually just measure it right over, and it tells you right here. It's approximately 14 days, from this point to this point. So you're talking about December 1st to about December 15th, and that is a range that you can take, right? Do this in any time frame. Do this in all time frames so that you can understand the span of timing based on the period that you're looking at. In this case, the daily. Okay, so again, I'm telling you that we are in a bearish setup. Okay, but there is a way to break out of this bearish setup that not a lot of people know of, but we can actually talk about it here. Okay, so let me just see if these lines, there we go, sorry. So the conditions to breaking out of this setup are these, okay? We need to create a test number 4, which already has kind of a target at that 200-day simple at about 67.98, maybe about 68 cents, okay? So upon testing this test, which is very possible actually in about a week and a half, just before CPI, very, very likely we can go up to the resistance levels here. By that time, SMA 200 may be right at about February 9th or February 10th. Okay, so very likely we can see it around there. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, if the condition is met for us to continue to the upside, good CPI rate, right? We come back, we retrace from the 200-day based on any news that we get. Bad CPI or good CPI, we will retrace, right, to the 47.90 area. This wave number 2 will be our support line and our inflection point. If we break this inflection point with a minimum 4-hour candle closure below it, below this area here, then this will continue to the downside and it'll start playing the range, eventually taking this to 18 cents. Okay? If we do get good news on this CPI, we're gonna sell off, right? Still come back to the 47, but in that case, we'll maintain the 47.90 and then start a continuation to the upside, which is critical for us to use this wave number 2 resistance or support as the continuation pattern for the upside and a rare breakout out of this bearish formation. Ascending broadening wedge. Okay, so we need those conditions to happen. Okay, but for the immediate short-term time frame, let's continue. 30-minute suggesting a little bit of a limited upside still. The buy hourly is a little indecisive here. I don't like those pivots. Remember, I talk about these pivots all the time. They're not so credible because sometimes we can just face a pivot here, just like this one here, and then we fake out, right? So be careful with that because they're hit or miss. So let's go ahead and continue validating. The 6-hour is suggesting a little bit of a corrective move towards the upside. The good thing here is with that tiny ugly pivot is that it's very close to the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, which would essentially take us to the upside. Okay, so let's go to the 12-hour. The 12-hour and the 8-hour are very strange. Okay, so let's go to the daily. Okay, so the daily is actually giving us that bias. Buy daily should also be up, and 3-day too. So okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, a little bit of consolidation. Just it's normal for us to get the market started like that, right? Lots of emotions already building over the weekend. So know that on the daily time frame, meaning that after tomorrow, look at this last candle that we printed. This is arguably a spinning top doji, almost a shooting star, which could honestly be a shooting star all in its own. Okay, so if it is a shooting star, then our obvious loading zone here would be about 3806 to the 3806 range to about 3923, right? This is your range for loading for a long position here. Okay, so this is how we get long the stock. It's literally based on daily iteration. So now if we can take actually a range of a fib, we'll do it like this. Look, we'll take it from the swing high of the daily range, right, to the swing low of the overall range. And you can already see that the 0.618 is very close to the area where I was talking about in a discretionary manner. So let's just go ahead and adjust it to that fib. Okay, so we'll adjust it to about 37.42 to about 39.32. This could be a pretty good loading zone. I'm going to load up the EMA 7, which could be right around here. I'm not sure though, but let's go ahead and just look. Okay, there it is. So yeah, so the wick down, a wick. I'm talking about aggressive entry here. A wick down to about 36.18 could be that loading zone as well. But very likely this could be in for the next trading session, and followed by a continuation to the upside on either Tuesday or Wednesday. The obvious targets here, and I'm talking very, very obvious, would be actually the 1.618, and it's perfectly set at 58.81, just under the top side of this candle iteration here from October 25th. So this is a very good thing. Okay, so yeah, we can honestly take profit early at the 1.618. and then use the one spot 272 at 50.11 before a continuation to the upside, eventually finding ourselves with that 200-day exponential moving average and CPI data report. So this could be a long trade up to the CPI release. Okay, so MULN is still looking very good in my eyes. Loading zone here. Remember that I'm giving you the 1 spot 618 for the shorter term time frame take profit, and also what could be, let's see, what could be, I would say between the 2 fib and the 2 spot 272 at about 67 cents, where the SMA 200 could potentially be. So this would be the target for maybe early next week. So I'm just going to draw a line there for you guys. Okay, so yeah, MULN is still looking great though. So 67 cents is what we said. So we'll just go ahead and keep it there at 66.93. Perfect. All right. So yeah, MULN is still playing by the rules here. Chat, let's go ahead and rate the trade. What are we rating this for the longs? Remember, accumulation period right over here. I'm still seeing an upside continuation based on broader market bullish activity. Okay, you guys. So Michael, what's up, my brother? How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Brendan and Ella's Fun Adventures. What is up? What is up? I'll go ahead and add it to the list. I do have kind of a ridiculous full one, but I will absolutely put it there. Okay, if I don't get to it, I owe you one, my brother. Okay, so you said GNS, right? I hear some news or something coming out about it, right? So take a look at the sentiment, guys. MM giving it a B. Coder Elite giving it an A minus. Nobody giving it an A. Mark Roach B. DJ B plus. We got a B from I don't know how to pronounce your name. So is that a Svarog? And T Wood giving me a B. Okay, guys, you see how the sentiment is just well within our own chat. All right, so that's how we can tell. That's how we can prep our long trades for the next day. So I think everybody is very much in tune with what could be happening here. So the long rating for this, in my personal opinion, I'm gonna have to give this. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding by this. I have to give it a solid B. And the reason why I'm giving it a solid B is because there's still a little bit of weirdness happening with the we're gonna delay the possibility of RS on this and into September potentially. There's still a lot of lingering, not so negative, not so positive. You know, there's that sentiment can play a lot with an asset. And the asset is essentially us. You know, this is our psychology behind it. And this ascending broadening wedge is us showing anxiety. Okay, you guys. So in my personal opinion, Vertigo, thank you for that B plus. Absolutely. So I'm gonna stick to a B rating on this, in a solid B. So this is, I mean, it's aggressive. All right. So Vertigo, I have GNS on the list. It just actually came in, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get it in. But if I don't get to it, I will owe you guys one, right? And we'll go ahead and take a look at it later. But I'm gonna officially end the analysis for MULN at 9:37 p.m. Let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, and we'll leave this with a long rating of B. Very good stuff, guys. I love it. I love it. This is a great opportunity. You know, we can actually make some money based on the broader market upside. Nick with the B, absolutely, I agree. So Mark Roach saying MULN is a catalyst trading stock. When they release news, releases a catalyst company seems to go up. Absolutely. Coder Elite saying because that was the last date given for MULN to regain Nasdaq compliance. Man, I know, and it's just look at it, valued at 40 cents right now. It has a way to go. So I mean, if the sentiment really wants to back this EV, then it could, you know. So I know EV has actually been doing pretty nicely over the last couple of weeks. So it maybe, you know, Lucid made a good move to the upside too. So Anthony, what's up, man? Hi, Arca. Anything on DBGI, please? Anthony, I will go ahead and add it to the list. I have kind of a full one, I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on here regardless, okay? But if I don't get to it, we'll go ahead and check it out later, my dude. So DBGI, right? Lots of people asking me about that, so I'm considering making a whole video analysis on it again. I haven't covered it in a few weeks. And let's see, Michael, AMC or APE on the list for today? Yes, actually, AMC is on the list. APE, I tend to stay away from because of the limited information on the date range for trading, right? But I do have AMC on the list, and it's actually pretty exciting because it does have massive upside to go. Oh, guys, now, oh man, yes, thank you for reminding me. I have something to tell you guys. Okay, so as the markets, Indra, good morning, good to see you, guys. As you start to see the bulls take over the markets, right? I'm talking about as we start to get the sentiment back and the money flowing through the broader markets, you are going to start to see a huge increase in YouTubers who are related to the finance YouTube, right? So as soon as people start seeing the bull market come back in, you're going to start to see a whole bunch of stock market gurus come back into the space and start saying and calling everything, and literally talk about, I called this, I called that. I am warning you right now to watch out with who you listen to and who you're watching, okay? Because that is typical. All right, so you saw like 70 to 80% of these influencers destroyed their careers because they no longer knew what to say instead of up. So it's funny because like if they were smart, they could have just started saying down and then they would have been good, right? So I just want you to be careful, okay? I just want you to be careful because the broader markets are looking okay. So now we're gonna start getting a bunch of gurus saying this is the next exploding stock, right? This is the next exploding altcoin, guys. When Bitcoin's going up, everything's going up. My goodness. All right, so watch out, okay? Because my mentor actually told me that some of the brightest stars in trading are born through the bear markets, not through a bull market. The worst thing that can happen to a trader is to get lucky in a bull market because that challenges your intelligence. You actually start to think that I was good, I got this. You know what I mean? And then when you face a bear market cycle, then some challenges get presented, right? So it's very important for you guys to kind of watch out and be defensive over who you're watching and who's giving you what information, right? Including me. You should absolutely not trust me by any means, right? So just know that my strategy is built specifically for my for my. I'm talking about my persona, my character. That's how it's built. Okay, so I'm inspiring you for you to build yours per your character as well. Okay, you guys. So I'm not going to be the one to say I called this or I called that. In fact, I don't like that. Okay, you guys. I don't like. It's not me. I never said anything. I never called it. It was the math. The mathematics give us those targets, and we just go ahead and relay them to the masses, right? To retail. I care about you guys, so I want to just show you what numbers can do for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, and the next ticker we have is GFAI. Not really familiar with that ticker, I'm not gonna lie, but that was actually Sebastian Lim's request. Bryant, hey, it's good to see you here, man. 100% on point. Thank you so much. T Wood, you know I know what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, man. And I was so into it. When I was learning. I was like, man, who are these guys just guessing everything? Everything they said happened. And then just as soon as the bear market happened, nothing they said happened. So, man, I was like, how is that possible? Like, how did you know so much? And then how did you not know so much? All right, but it's all good, you guys. It's all good. No problem. We can always study together and find our edge in the markets. So yeah, let's go ahead and officially start this analysis off. 9:43 p.m. Thank you, Mark. I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust it just a little bit. So 9:43 p.m. for ticker symbol GFAI. Let's see. Let's type it in. GFAI. Okay, so Guard Force. Okay, good stuff. All right. Very interesting price action so far. Okay, let's look at the float. What's the cap? So 18.2 million on the cap, right? So, and we have 39.26 million on the float. So obviously high risk. Remember that when things are valued in this manner, you're actually at risk here, because somebody could easily just drop in a good coin on this, and this thing could just, explode to the upside and use you as liquidity. Whale games, that's what some people can call it, right? Yeah, seriously, Vertigo, so many people, including me, so that's, I will never do that again. So, and I, in fact, that's why I started, learning how to fix my own car too, because I was like, man, what is this? Is this guy just telling me things that are broken? Like, does he want to just tell me? He wants to try to squeeze money out of somebody who doesn't know? Well, I will learn. Very important support here for GFAI at let's see, that's 4278 could be a retracement area. This is huge volume coming in. Oh man, what is that volume for the daily iteration? 46 million. What's its standard? Let's see. So it's in the hundreds of thousands. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, something happened here that this is exploding to the upside. Very good stuff. Okay, let's validate. What are the SMAs saying for us? Okay, so very important thing to notice is that the 200-day simple moving average is very well below us. So when we're on a daily time frame, 200 SMA below us is a very good sign. Okay, so I'm not even going to load up the EMAs in this case. In fact, the buy daily should, let's see, there's not enough trading information, of course. This has only been trading for a very short period of time. Again, very limited here, okay, you guys? But let's go ahead and load up momentum, as I don't have too much information to go off of. So again, you guys, this is absolutely in the most discretionary manner that I could ever do anything, right? So my edge truly comes in when I add the mathematical model to it. But my discretion, luckily for all of us, that it's a little strong. Okay, so let's move on to the immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute, and see what it has to offer. Okay, so the moving averages are being used, specifically the 10-day simple moving average it's been used quite often here, and it looks like we are about to touch that SMA 10 again, which is very relevant to the support that I actually just mentioned at 37.38. Actually, no, I mentioned 42.82. So if we can drop, it would be nice to gain a long position at 38 cents, 37.95 to be perfectly exact. T Wood saying GFAI 17 days ago announced has secured 2 long-term contracts with pre-existing clients for its secured logistics and cash handling services. Light Blue Demon, how you doing? So that's exactly, okay, so this is moving on a catalyst. Okay. All right, so downside suggestion on the 30-minute immediate short term, but this is it's reading some consolidation in my opinion. So let's move up to the buy hourly and continue puzzling our pieces here. So limited downside on the buy hourly. Please remember that this is likely to move along pretty fast. Okay, so these short-term time frames happen within just a matter of hours. So let's load up the EMAs in this case to see what loading zone we could find. And I can actually find some relevance between the RSI signal and the 14-day simple here with the EMA 7, the 7-period exponential moving average. So that would be at 35.17 before a bounce, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the 6-hour and see. The 6-hour also has a very limited downside here. So the 14-day simple could be that support line that we're looking at right over here at 37.38, which we mentioned in the 30-minute chart. Let's move up to 12-hour. 12-hour, very limited downside here, also suggesting potentially that 37.38 area, right? So we can actually face, we can face here 2 types of supports, by the way. Support number 1 would be the 14-day simple moving average, obviously, right? The second support would be the gravitational zone from the bull strength percentile, okay, which would be right above here, 2% down. And that both of the 14-day and the gravitational zone could actually, can actually push us to the upside. Steven saying, oh my God, I'm so excited you did an early video tonight, Arca. We'll be able to get up to trade in the morning. Good, man, good. I know a lot of people were actually going to say that. I'm trying, my brother. So let's go ahead and move on to the daily and continue on with the analysis. So, all right. this is where it's at. So it's actually just going to be a day of consolidation before a continuation to the way up. And I'm talking for multiple days. The thing that can flash these upper term timeframes to the downside would be an immediate sell-off. And seeing that this is at 44 cents, take profit for someone who gained entry down here at 11 cents, sorry. That could be a drastic take profit in a capitulation event. But this does have a suggestion to continue to the upside, potentially starting Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday in the pre-market even. So, and the loading zone for this is still where I'm talking about. It would be, man, best case scenario on the daily would be the 32.86, but I do not see that. It's very difficult for us to reach the 200-day simple moving average from, I mean, what is the deficit there? Let's see. So that would be a 26% decline. That's tough. It's tough. I'm not sure that sentiment is ready to let go of that much profit. So I'm talking best case scenario would be just above the 200 SMA at 33.60-ish, right? So I'll leave it in just in case you want to get aggressive with this, right? But it's not as likely, but unless somebody does take profits right away, then yeah, you know. But in this case, my honest support would be that 37.38. And then the upside targets, right? Let's go ahead and just see what potential upside it can do. Stick Vicious, good evening, Battle, and everyone, my dude. Good to see you here. I actually tried to start an earlier stream today to try to get some of the East Coast people, in the chat, which is awesome. Very good to see you, my Battle. So let's go ahead and take a fib retracement from the swing height of the swing low of the current day's price action. And let's take a look at that. Let's see. So, okay, I want to see the close of the day. So 40 and 44. Okay, so it actually went up it went down in the aftermarket. So it went down to about 44 cents. And okay, so it's fine. We still have the range. Actually, let me do it overall. Let me do a wick high to wick low. Instead of just the, oh, wait, we actually did. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and now give you the targets to the upside. Relevant to, remember, I'm talking about targets to the upside starting potentially Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday. And these are pretty awesome targets. I can already see there's a huge relevance of supports and resistances here with specific to geometric levels. So the most obvious target would actually be this wick high of September 1st, 2022. So that's very near the 1.272 right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and now draw and look at the 1.618 and the relation between all of these candles here, the resistances, is absolutely perfect. Okay, so the 1.272 to the 1.618, 51.56 to about 59.16 are very, very relevant. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Very likely to reach within maybe Wednesday morning even. I mean, if FOMO applies into this target would get bypassed immediately and it would jump straight into just shy of this candle here. Remember that taking profit just before the overall range of this wick would be ideal. And the 2.618 seems to be positioned perfectly for that, just under that wick high. Okay, so in this case, then the 2.272, which would be essentially this candle high. Let's go ahead and just make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm looking at is this candle right over here. So right at the wick high of that is that 2.618. So let's go ahead and make the 2.272 and the 2.618 areas of relevant take profit, right? So these I'm talking about in FOMO. Okay, in FOMO, these two targets would essentially be met fast, followed by the next day. Cal L, thank you for your donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. So what I'm trying to say is that these two targets can be fulfilled right away, followed by a test of either 51.56 or the current wick high. at about 45.78 before continuing to the upside, eventually touching actually the 4.236. Wait. Oh man, there's a little gap here. That's, oh god, that changes the game a little. Good. So this area here is very strong. Okay, so we can face a huge resistance here. Okay, so my top side target is going to be located between the 4.618 at 124.95. So pretty much 125, right? And we'll put it right to about $1.3475. So $1.35. Okay, this would essentially be like FOMO at its max with continuing volume the way we're looking at it right now. The daily iteration of volume we're looking at, remember, is 46 million. So with a continuation like that, you guys, we can, yeah, these two targets are likely, and then these upper targets would be the heaviest resistance that we can face. I can still adjust the gap a little bit too, but I'm trying to favor the 4.618 because it's just under the gap. Okay, so now we know the loading zones, and so remember the loading zone number 1 would be the 0.618 or 37.38 or 37.21 is essentially what I'm looking at. And then beyond that is just I do see an upside continuation on this. So the only reason it won't continue to the upside is based on sell pressure and shorts. But now we know, guys. Let's go ahead and rate the trade. Chat, what are you telling me? What is this rated? D- would be your max loss for the day. D+ would be your break even. C+, we have risk but upside. Right, so please remember what this is worth. We're looking at a micro float. So, yeah, 39 million and market cap at about 18 million. So what are we? Chat, go ahead and tell me, what are we rating this from D- to A+ for the longs? Okay, now we're not going to rate anything for the shorts. Okay, so we're getting a C+ already in. Mark Roach giving me a C. All right, we got a B. Nobody. Cool. So the sentiment feels not bad, right? C+ from DJ. I agree, my brother. So, Devin, you're giving me an A. Cool. Vertigo giving me a C+. I'm thinking. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually close to you guys. Bryant, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate you. Did you request for something yet? I'll make sure to take a look at whatever you need. So thanks for putting these videos out. Very helpful. I'm absolutely happy to help, Bryant. Thank you, and thank you so much for that. Nick, giving me a C+. Okay. All right. So, guys, remember, my preference, right, for trading. My preference for trading is usually about a market cap about 500 million, right? 250 to 500 million, and the float at a maximum 1 billion. It would be ideal for this to be above 250 million, 150 at minimum, right? But ideally 250 to 500 million float. Or even up to 1 billion max, right? Maxed out. So from that, I think we would be able to rate these trades better. But since this is such a tiny float and tiny cap, I'm honestly just going to have to give this myself a C+ trade. And a C+, I'm talking about a solid plus. If this met my small cap requirement, then I would probably give this an A-. Just so you know, because this is a pretty good opportunity. It's just I'm afraid of the sell-off. I'm afraid of somebody just pulling their profit like hard, and it's 40 cents. So this can easily capitulate and trap a lot of people. This can trap, serious liquidity here. Cal L, thank you for your donation, man. Thank you. Devin, yeah, seriously, man, seriously. I would have given this an A, if this had the requirements for that. For the small caps. DJ, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. You guys are so kind. Really appreciate you. Vertigo saying some whale could sell and then you could. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm really afraid of the sell off on this. So long rating on this, so we're gonna go ahead and leave it with a C plus, and it's a solid C plus for me, man. And like I said, I would have given this a way higher potential if it had met the criteria. But this is a really good opportunity nonetheless. If you are gonna play it, tight stops, guys. Put your stops tight and make sure not to ignore that. Make sure to respect your risk management, especially with tickers like this. But Sebastian Lim, good call on this one, my dude. So we are officially going to end this analysis at 9:59 p.m. Good stuff. I am very stoked on it. Devin, let me go ahead and add that ticker into the list. But like I said to the previous people, I do have kind of a full thing going on here. But if I can't get to it, let's get to it tomorrow, because I'm actually streaming tomorrow as well. Okay, so Devin, you're saying a PBTS, right? Good deal. I have it on the list nonetheless. So yeah, let's go ahead and officially end the analysis here for GFAI, and we're going to do that at 10. I'm sorry, we ended it at 10. What time did I start this thing? I forgot. 9:43, got it. And then we officially ended it at 9:59. And the long rating was that C plus. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the timestamps and the ratings in the description below for your convenience, and so that you can refer back to these plays tomorrow while we're in the markets, right? So that you're not lost. Just give me a few hours before I upload them, guys, and then they'll be there though. So rest assured that they will be there. If you need to just see the times, I'm iterating the times right now, but you can see my clock right up here on the top right. Okay, but regardless, the timestamps will be there. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, and actually a very good ticker. We're going to look at ticker symbol TSLA, so Tesla. Okay, so let's officially start the analysis for ticker symbol Tesla at 10:01 p.m. Good deal. Let's see. I'm sure I have a bunch of loads for this. Okay, this could be one. Yeah, let's look at this one here. Yeelon. Okay. All right, so, oh man, it has been meeting the targets, and it has been using them as support too. Goodness gracious. And it was an A- trade. Man, those targets are meeting to the T. Good deal. Were you following these targets, Sebastian, by chance? So T-Wood, Arca, how many bull YouTubers going to copy your style? Live grading a ticker is brilliant. Oh my goodness, man. You know what? I hope that it could inspire some to create some safe plays for retail. I don't care to get copied, right? So it's actually a compliment when somebody mimics or copies your strategies, right? It's okay, and I hope they do, and I hope they learn. You know, hopefully I can provide some information that they can use for their own trading strategies, and provide some good information for retail too. Retail is who I care about, not my YouTube channel, not like that. I saw the weakness too, man. We got faked out on this one like crazy, but that upside absolutely happened nonetheless. We gave it that A-, and then it capitulated the next day, and then it recovered. Just bear trap. All right, so let's go ahead and validate the upside on Tesla, man, because my targets are still standing, dude. I am not lying to you. I was very clear about the 200-day simple right up here on the buy daily, right? So, oh man, we're at critical resistance too. So the 1.618 being respected right now is just so relevant. You know, it's absolutely relevant. This resistance here is the reason why what's his name, Michael Burry. This reflects the price action reflects, the formation reflects the entirety of the broader market spectrum. So this resistance is why he's saying sell now, right? But upon the CPI read, then we may be able to actually realize a downside on this. So 1, 2, 3, we're supposed to be on that test number 4 in true breakout. But please remember that I always say this. Please remember that test number 5 is also a possibility. Okay, so, and again, I am not saying that we would capitulate to test the bottom side of this channel. What I am saying is that we can see one more leg down. And I'm not sure if that's the thing yet, and it's of course a huge gamble for me to say that, but there could be one last leg down for the bears before the markets officially start to pivot to the upside. Okay, so just please know that I am expecting that, and if we did reverse from these areas up here, and then we come back down and reaccumulate to around 166. Then we would have essentially built inverse herp and derp, right? So that would that would have us creating this little smiley face here of the normie patterns. So if we can do that, then yeah, then that would be good, and then also a kerp and derp. So maybe we'll go ahead and validate that. So let's go ahead and load up the RSI and see what we have in store for the 30-minute immediate short term. Okay, so we like herp and derp in here, man. I should just probably add a little bit of statistics to the herp and derp, and then maybe consider some positioning on this. But these stocks are the ones that I'm referring to. Okay, you guys, make sure that your positions are protected a couple days prior to the CPI release on the 14th. Immediate short-term time frame. Already suggesting a little bit of a downside here, but very likely to reload. I am thinking between the 50-day SMA on the 30 and the SMA 10. So this could be 190 flat to about 190, 106 could be a pretty good loading zone for this. And it looks like we're still creating a series of higher lows and also higher highs. So it's still looking bullish. This is very bullish. So let's go ahead and move on to the buy daily and see what it has to offer for us. So buy daily is actually suggesting just a little bit of consolidation. It's okay that it does that. Let me see if the EMA 7 is back here. We may be able to use that as a support. So if we can, let's see. So it's actually just above us. Price action is sitting right now at about 193.35. The reloading zone, 191.56. It's pretty similar to the 30-minute loading zone still. Okay, so let's move on. Let's continue puzzling this together to gain that true bias. I can't. This is good that we've been using the SMA 14 as a form of support, right? So I can't really trust what's happening here, because the moving average is starting to suggest a little bit of a downside, although we're still using it as support. Okay, so again, I'm not liking this tiny little pivot. Let's go ahead and refer to another time frame. I'll use the 8-hour instead of the 6. The 8-hour is suggesting a bit of a downside here, which also is in respects to reloading at that zone that we talked about in the 30-minute, which could be at about 190.93. Let's go ahead and refer back to that 8-hour and see how substantial the downside is. It's in the gravitational zone of the overbought percentile, so this can actually face some downside still. Let's go ahead and validate with 12-hour and daily. 12-hour is actually reclaiming the outside of the 14-day simple, so this is very bullish. Let's see. Okay, daily still suggesting that upside. Okay, very good. The buy daily is also, it's in a little bit of a danger here, because if we're gonna use this zone here, we can actually come back down and reaccumulate, but it's still suggesting upside nonetheless. And remember, that's a buy daily, so 3-day upside and 5-day and weekly still upside. Okay, so this is still giving me the upside targets that I'm talking about here. And I'm talking about first, we need to consolidate / reaccumulate. Very slight bearishness in the coming sessions, maybe tomorrow and Tuesday, followed by a recovery on either the middle of the week or by the end of this week. We can start to recover to the upside. So the long positions can actually gain entry soonish. Let's go ahead and refer to the 12-hour actually to really gain that potential upside. So the 12-hour, we're using that 200-day simple moving average as a form of resistance right now. So let me take actually the last 12-hour iteration with an inverse fib so we can get the potential entry, right? So Let's see. The EMA7 right at that one spot 272. So this is now actually the area that I'm looking at. Beyond the 190-cent zone, which would be the 30-minute immediate short term, I would actually favor the 12-hour. Well, first of all, because it's a larger time frame and also can present a bigger gain. So I would favor 183.30 to about 184.67 as the loading zone, and the relevant targets to the upside I'm still favoring them. So very likely we can touch the one spot 272 by the end of the week this week or middle of the week, which would naturally take longs right into that golden mean, the 2 spot 618. So by the end of the week this week, 212 or just under that is very likely. The broader markets are still looking pretty frothy. So if as long as that froth is there, then we can continue to the upside. If the sentiment starts prepping, for that sell-off in case we get bad news from the CPI report, then I can maybe give you about a 224 target. Okay, so that 224 is very aggressive though. Okay, so this would be entirely sentiment based. The realistic targets right now 205 to 212.01. Okay, that's my overall. We will talk about the further upside targets later. Okay, so let's go ahead and rate this. Remember the loading zone. The loading zone we said was going to be between 183.48 and about 184.64. And then we can actually face an upside continuation here, you guys. So know for a fact one more thing, that the 205, the 2 spot 272 is landing right at the resistance of our broadening descending wedge. Okay, so that makes it an even more likely target to touch right up here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and rate the trade, guys. Chat, let's go ahead and dive in. Remember, D- is your max loss for the day. D+ would be break even. Right? And let's see. C+, risk plus upside. B, because we meet the criteria. Right? And the A's are just like slam dunk plays. So Mark Roach giving me an A+, nobody with an A. Vertigo A. Good stuff, man. So let's see. T Wood giving me a B+, MM with a B. Look at the sentiment, guys. This is great. All of us are. I'm not saying this in an offensive manner. Mr. Zer giving me a B. I'm not saying this in an offensive manner, but we're all in extreme greed right now. The markets are reflecting greed. So remember the man himself, right? The fundamental analyst himself, Warren Buffett, said once to buy the fear and sell the greed. So make sure to remember those things too, guys, as we are approaching these levels. I'm telling you, DJ giving it a C+. And again, you guys, this is very particular to rate this because this is a mega cap. Okay. Svarog giving it a D-. Okay. That is absolutely fair. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the market cap on this. You're looking at 601 billion. Okay. Billion, not million with an M, with a B. Okay, and take a look at the float. We're looking at 2.69 billion. Okay, so this is huge rating. So Devin giving me a C. Okay, so the sentiment is about 80%, 85% positive. Sebastian Lim giving me an A. Okay, so the fact that it's so expensive leads a different type of trading crowd, right? So it doesn't have as many people as you would in a smaller valuated stock. So with Tesla, playing the options would actually be pretty lucrative in this. If you know your Greeks, if you know your implied volatility, if you know the open interest, like all those things are very important for your options. Okay, but the options on Tesla for people who can't afford live shares would actually be very lucrative with this. Okay, so Cal L, what's the percent upside going on? What are you this is already on T1? I'm actually not even sure myself. Does sell bull puts? Yeah. If you're betting the upside, that could definitely do it. Selling puts. That's selling puts in particular. Target one. Sorry, I thought you were talking about T1 reporting, as in trade plus 1 day. But let me go ahead and measure that. So from the loading zone though. So let's go ahead and just load it from the 184.72 to spot 618 to the target number 1, which would essentially be. I was talking about the 2.272 being 205.30. So that's an 11%. But if we're looking at froth for real, like this would be about a 15% gain to the 2.618 at 1201, which honestly, these targets are very, I see it as likely. And based on momentum suggesting that continuation to the upside, the 3.272 and 3.618 are only imminent. So, but we need CPI to reach this. Okay, so if we're looking at an overall, from the top side of the loading zone to the 3.618, that is a 25.43% move to the upside. Yeah, this is very expensive, and C plus is not bad. But I'm telling you, man, if you know your options on this, you can triple your worth. It's just, I mean, you would lever up like hard on this. One option could be worth the difference of hundreds of dollars over 1 day, over one session, maybe even in the price action of an afternoon. Man, Devin, I hear that, man. I hear that options have so many different strategies. Quite the different animal, that of the live stocks, right? So I personally prefer live shares because options usually require volatility to really gain, right? And also depending on your pocket too, right? So out of the money options would be the highest gain, but also the highest risk. Right, the lowest gain would be at the money or in the money options, but lesser risk. So it's a serious game to play there, and I would absolutely recommend for you to first start understanding your Greeks. Okay, understand what delta is, your theta. Understand what vega means, what rho. If you understand those things, the theta, right? Like theta meaning the downside per day of holding a share. Or your delta, your gain per day of holding a share, or know that there's also implied volatility. Know that there is an open interest. There's also strategies oh my goodness, man. There's a whole bunch of strategies in that. Long strangles, long straggles, right? So those are hedging positions, right? So in case the price goes against your desired way, you still have puts to kind of hedge against that. So yeah, just know those things first, and then move into the strategies, right? So all right, so that guys, so the sentiment was great. I'm thinking honestly that the upside on this, in my personal rating on this, because I want to make sure that whoever is biased for an expensive trade, just like this one, right? Daniel saying buying options that you only have about a 40% chance of winning on average. Incredible. Imagine that. Buying the options, right? So if you're selling the options, meaning that you have about 100 shares minimum, you can sell them. If you believe that the price is going up or down, sell a put or sell a call. And that actually presents great passive income. Seeing that the majority of people do not exercise their shares. Exercise meaning that they literally pull out the 100 shares from the contract in exchange for the price valuation where the asset is sitting currently versus where you bought it. I'm saying it like that because it could be inverse. It could be long or short, or it can be. There's so many ways. I'm telling you, just start off easy, okay? Start off easy on your options because there's a lot of information there. And if I were to recommend anything, would be to know your charts too. Pair your charts along with your options, and then you'll know where your entries could be, okay? But sometimes only because the price goes up doesn't mean that the option is going to go up. Okay, so as it sometimes requires volatility to be present. But yeah, you guys. So let's. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this. To be very honest with you guys, okay. I want to make sure that even the people who are able to afford or are willing to trade, high. I'm talking about blue chips, mega caps, which is not everybody, but some people do, especially in the options world. So my long rating for this is actually going to be a B-, and it's because I'm not giving it an A- on this like I did the last time, because we're getting so close to the CPI read. And that could present, some serious risks. So notice in my own psychology that I'm actually starting to pull away a little bit, right? So my own discretion could also serve as an indicator for you, and our discretion together as we rate the trade together should be also an indicator for you to understand where the sentiment is presently, right? So let's go ahead and officially end the analysis for TSLA at 10:20 p.m. Very good play. Still has a lot of upside to go. And my personal take was a B- on this. And let's now move on to ticker symbol FOXO. Right, we said yes on that one, right? So I remember. Oh yeah, that's right. The overall everybody was saying yes for FOXO. So good stuff. All right, so I do not have a previous load on that. I don't remember even looking at it. Devin, thanks. I appreciate your feedback. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Very, very happy to help. And Daniel M saying selling options is a 70% chance of winning. See, knowing your probabilities, guys, the stock market is just a huge game of probabilities, right? So knowing your odds are just so important. Similar to playing a game of blackjack. If you're playing the dealer just by yourself, and you know how many cards there are in a deck, that means that between you and the dealer on a solo game, you have 50% chance of winning. Your odds start to diminish as you start adding players into the table against the dealer. So, like knowing those probabilities, knowing how to kind of favor those things is imperative. It's so important for trading, right? Blackjack or poker, even, sure. I was talking about blackjack though, but yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go. Let me go ahead and just make some space here. I want to make sure that we're cataloging all of the information for the timestamps later, right, you guys? Guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the like button, as it will help the algorithm, right, guys, to get some more people up in here. Okay, so there we go. FOXO will be the next ticker. Now, and please don't card counting and market counting. Oh man. You don't want to get caught counting. You got to be so fast. You got to be so fast at counting that. But, everybody sort of does. Not gambling advice. Okay, you guys. It's very funny to say that. There are some people here who know a great deal of cards and blackjack and poker and stuff. So I'm not going against that. I'm actually just giving you related topics, right? So if you're talking about strategies, then I can talk a little bit about chess, right? So a little bit. I also am barely learning too. So I'm definitely not a financial advisor. Thank you, Mark. Please, guys, just take whatever I do show and iterate here with just a grain of salt, okay? I'm not any means a professional for you to consider like that, okay? So let's start off on the daily time frame with FOXO. We're officially starting the analysis here at 10:23 p.m. Moderators, go ahead. And Cal L saying, I straight up asked the dealer how many aces came out. The dude, oh my goodness, he'll probably slap you in the head and be like, get out of here. Vertigo, the reason I got into trading was because of counting cards and blackjack. Right, man? I'm telling you, man. That movie 21 was so cool. I loved watching that, right? So, Nick, just like I've been telling everybody else, my dude, I'll go ahead and put it on the list. Not sure that I'm going to be able to get through to it tonight. But QBTS, is that a ticker? And also, P, is that for please or what? My apologies for not being so witty on that, right? So Nick, I'm going to go ahead and just put it on here anyway. Okay, so PBTS, and I could have sworn I thought I put that earlier too. But it's all good. Let's just go ahead and add it right here. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and continue now with FOXO. Thanks, Mark. 10:24 now, right? So 10:24 p.m. Perfect. Sorry, guys. Sometimes, I got to pay attention to the chat too. All right, so FOXO. Oh, wow, awesome price action, right? So what I want you to notice first, okay, and this is just your volume profile. Okay, so the volume profile already looks like we're starting to kind of fall a little bit in buy pressure, but that's typical to finding an area of resistance or a key resistance or an inflection point, how the professionals see it, right? So we have an absolute perfect touch to these candle iterations here. I'm talking about the wick high of the current day price action, which was 156, right? So let's see. So 145 was the aftermarket. So yeah, 156 was the high of this candle, and it looks like the high of this candle here was 154. We have a 156 high right here, so we do have some relevance here. Okay, so that's very likely why we're at resistance, but what could be the following reason? And I'm actually seeing that it's lacking formation here. And how long has this thing been trading, by the way? So limited information again. Let's look at the market cap and the float. The market cap is actually at a 46 million. The float is a 21 million. So it's a high risk, of course, right? Super high valuation. So the upside continuation to this almost feels limited. Let me load up the SMAs now. Let's see. So this is already kind of expensive. I'm not gonna lie. This is pricey. Let's see the 12-hour time frame. Well, man, we don't have that much information. Jesus, this I hate it when this happens because of the short period that we have for available information is still. It's not enough. We don't have enough historical value, but it's okay. We can try to gain an understanding here. The most obvious target that I can see for a reloading in case we do go to the upside is the relevance between the opening of this candle here, which is one. You can see it right up here. The O for opening, high, L for just look at this. So we're looking at 118 as the opening, and the low is also 118. So. This alongside with the 7-day exponential moving average, that would essentially be an obvious target to reload. And it looks like it's also sharing the opening of this candle here. And a tiny little gap. Okay, so this trust me when I say that some people really look at these details here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note of this psychological component. Right here. Okay, so very likely this can actually find support at the top side of this tiny gap, which is where that EMA 7 would essentially land in. Right, I'm talking about as we come down and touch this. Not a guarantee yet. Not a guarantee. I'm talking about never a guarantee, right? But in this particular case, in a discretionary manner, I can see that target being touched. Let's validate with momentum. And let's see the 30-minute immediate short term. Okay, so we are getting that downside suggestion on the immediate short term, and we are now in that gravitational pull of the bull strength percentile, which means that we can actually face a continuation to the downside. Okay, all right. So and also it's making me curious about a few other things. Bi-hourly suggesting upside and in the gravitational zone for a continuation to the upside. Curious. Okay, 6 hours still showing upside thrust. 12-hour, a little questionable, but I don't... Historically, have we ever touched anything there? Man, we don't even know where we can go up to. Okay, so the daily... Guys, this is very high risk. We don't know where we're going with this, okay? So there could be a potential 95.37% touch from this iteration here on September 2nd, 2022. Okay, we're currently sitting at about 84.26%, so there's still there's still some upside after. I'm talking about a very short term accumulation period. Bi-daily upside, 3-day upside, man. So in the 5-day upside. Okay, so this still has a massive amount of upside to go, and I really mean a substantial amount. And if I were to put this in a very discretionary manner, the upside targets are it's a range between 221 and 251. This gap here, 221 and 251 would essentially be that take profit. Let me go ahead and make sure that I note that for you guys here. So 221, we'll put it right here, and to the bottom of the gap. I want to do it to the bottom of the gap, and let's just do 250. I think I said 1. Okay, 221 to 251 would be that relevant target. Okay, so from the loading zone, which we're gonna revise right now because I need actually a 4-hour time frame. We need something a little smaller to see what that accumulation zone can be. So let's look at the 4-hour, and okay, we already have the relevance between the EMA 7 and the wick low of this prior 4-hour iteration. Okay, so if we can see the first more likely loading zone would actually be just above the EMA 7 and sharing the wick high here. Okay, so the 133 is essentially that potential to get long this stock. And yes, it would actually, wow. I need to warn you about something though, and not to the downside. It's not bad. I just need to warn you about a couple relevant gaps here. So this gap that remember that I like to look at the gaps regardless if they were closed or not. So this gap here between about 142 and about 133 has another gap that's very, very similar to that range. Okay, so meaning that if this can face downside, but there is the potential of missing it if this just finds support at 142. If it finds support at 142, then of course this is just gonna take, it would essentially take off after about a day. And again, just to be utterly clear here, I am expecting consolidation / downside for tomorrow, but very slightly. And I have to give it to you this wide. It would be 142 to 132 as a loading zone. Best case scenario would be right down here at about 119 or 118. That's the best case scenario, but it's there for our discretion, right? So upon receiving this, let's just go ahead and measure it from the bottom side of this support, right, to, let's see, to the top side of our take profit. That's about an 88% gain, so almost 90%. So that's pretty gnarly. You know, that's good stuff. It's not bad at all. It's very fair, which now actually is making me curious about volatility and momentum, which this thing could be fully expanded. Let's see. Yeah, we're fully expanded, and momentum should be still pivoted towards the upside. Yeah. Oh man. All right. So yeah, this is a short-term downside reaccumulation phase before a continuation to the upside even still. So this is very likely we can touch these targets here. The top side targets. Remember, I gave you about 226-ish to 250, 251. So that's really what I'm looking at for this. It's not bad. It's just I hate that it doesn't have any information prior to this because it hasn't been trading that long, right? And also it's micro cap, micro float, good narnar, right? So this is still looking pretty good. And I honestly am favoring the bulls in this side. Okay, so chat, let's go ahead and rate this for the longs. What are we doing? FOXO, tiny pullback. Best case scenario 118, 119, and then we could actually make a move, potentially 90% gain. And just say, for example, we did reach that accumulation zone of 118. That's 111% to the upside. Chase Cross giving me an A. Mark Roach, C+. Indra giving me a B-. Sebastian Lim with a C+. Cryptic Trader, what's up, buddy? With a B. The sentiment feels okay already. So, all right, we got an A rating. Not bad, not bad. So that's 2 A ratings now. And Devin giving me a C. T Wood giving me a B. So I honestly, Samantha H giving me a B. Okay, Nick giving me a B-. Wow, this is I'm very surprised of how bullish everybody's on this, which makes me feel that like this could potentially, maybe even go higher than this 100% move to the upside. It could still go beyond this. The next most relevant target would be 281, right? So Vertigo saying, how come tomorrow I noticed you believe a lot of these plays will pull back before later in the week continuation upwards? Technically speaking, I see where you are coming from. Just wondering else why. Momentum. That's literally the only reason why. And also based on formation. So if the momentum is suggesting downside alongside with a formation, like being at a resistance, then and also overextension, so then, yeah, I could see the pullback happening. The relevance between all of these stocks pumping to the upside is also in respects to the broader market's bullish activity. Okay, so coming into Monday, a lot of people want to play it safe before they start gambling everything, right? So usually pullbacks tend to happen, and those pullbacks are a great thing for us to reload. Eric, what's up? Did Arca cover PXMD, PBLA? I have not covered those, and actually I can go ahead and put them on the list, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get them today regardless. Why? So Cryptic Trader, why what, my dude? Sorry, I got a little distracted here. So yeah, Eric, I'll go ahead and put them on the list, but I don't think I can get to them today, my dude. But I will absolutely check them out nonetheless, right? So PBLA was another one. Okay. All right. So we're officially gonna. Oh, right, my rating for this, right? I still have to give you my rating. Yeah. So very cool that everybody's so bullish on this. But always remember, yeah, 111% best case scenario, even a plus, right? So guys, I just need you to know. That I still don't like, no matter how bullish it is, I still don't like micro caps and micro floats. Okay, so in this case, the long rating for me, if this had my criteria, what I'm talking about, that typical thing that I talk about, right? So if we're doing about a 500 million market cap, maybe tops 1 billion float, tops. Right, so if that criteria met, this is easily an A-. But because of the low float and the low cap, it's a solid B+ for me, C+. Sorry. So this is still very bullish, and you'll see the C+ ratings that I put, and they'll still do that upside, right? So but because of the high risk is why I'm saying that this deserves a C+, in my opinion. Remember, that's just my opinion. It does not have to be mine. Okay, so make sure to just use it as a form of inspiration, or maybe just use it take it as a grain of salt for whatever your positioning can be long for this stock, right? So so let's go ahead and officially end the analysis for ticker symbol FOXO, and that's 10:37 p.m. Lots of opportunities here, you guys. Lots of opportunities here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave the long rating here. I'll make sure to put the timestamps in. Sorry, and for tomorrow, right? So, guys, now is time to look at AMC. So, Devin, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate you concur with that C+, right? So, yeah, guys, so now let's take a look at that infamous AMC ticker. So AMC, I remember I looked at it and I actually found some very, very, very interesting things here. So, T Wood. So generally, minimum like 150 to okay. If you want to keep it safe, it's 250 million to 500 million market cap. and being a big small a big small float, right, would be 1 billion tops. So if you're looking at 500 million, it would be pretty cool, right? If you can catch one that's 250 cap to about a 500 mil float, oof, that's those are safe. They're valued at about $2, $3, $4, and they're safe. They don't have so much of the a gambler sentiment, right? So as a lot of systematic traders focus in that zone, it's very popular for system based traders to trade the valuation that I just gave you. So yeah, Cryptic Trader, time to take a dump. Good deal. Oh man. So Sebastian Lim, you went. What do you mean options, man? Are you betting the downside or the upside, or I assume calls, right? You're long calls. Because I mean, yeah, there could be some serious upside for this. Yes, I do. Vertigo, I trade full time. I absolutely do. And Sebastian, now I do, with the help of a lot of people here. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead. So Devin saying AMC got me into the stock market. Man, Devin, it actually got me into the stock market too. I've only been trading for about 15 months. And the reason why I was so adamant to learn this is because AMC forced a huge loss into my portfolio, right? So I will never do that again. Eric saying, if you got time, Arca, can you thread down any of these PXMD, PBLA? So Eric, I actually spoke to you just a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if you heard me, but I have it on the list already for you. But I do have quite the list to go over, right? And that doesn't actually fulfill every session. I am streaming tomorrow though, so just know that if I can't get it today, I will definitely get to it tomorrow. Okay, you guys. So also, Eric, if you're not a member of the Discord trading community, join in, because there's an early request for tickers for the ticker picker. All right, so right, I'm gonna load up AMC, but I didn't see it. The previous load, that is. So let me just go ahead and make sure that I can get that one. I think it could be this one. Yeah, Eric, no problem. Okay, right. I remember. Oh man, and it did move to the upside. Jeez, no way. Did I run the back test already? What? I don't even remember running it. Guys, I've run so many backtests all the time. Hold on. From contracted. Oh, yes. Let's see. Total iterations, 46. That's bare minimum right there. That's actually good. This is actually good. Hold on. Total duration. Okay. So fully contracted, we have a 46% move to the upside. That could have already fulfilled, actually. So from the firing of the signal, the firing of the signal is not quite there just yet. So a 46% move, 44% move to the upside is imminent. Let me show you why. Wow. Okay. All right. This is good. I'm so happy that I watched out for myself earlier. Maybe I said to myself, maybe I should backtest this right now so that later me can be like, thanks, previous me, right? So I really think that this has a pretty good potential for the upside. I'm sorry, I'm like blanking out right here. I just want to make the text a little bit bigger for those of you on a mobile device, right? All right, so yes, I did run a back test on this, but it looks like I still need to update it, but it's entirely okay. This iteration was actually wrong, but nonetheless, volatility versus momentum backtest. So this is volatility that you're looking at here, represented by the BBWP indicator. This is stochastic momentum, which is what we use to pair alongside or verse against volatility so that we can kind of gauge the direction of the asset or the price action incoming. So since volatility is direction neutral, right? So the backtest is from a contracted or a fully contracted zone of critical volatility, meaning that any time that we have entered the critical volatility zone, which could be within the 15 percentile, like all of these iterations here, right? I have actually taken note of that iterations, the upside thrust versus the duration of the iteration and the amount of times that we've actually guessed the upside versus the downside correctly versus incorrectly regarding volatility versus momentum, right? So the backtest actually consists of 47 iterations, of which 27 were guessed correctly to the upside. It's a little dangerous, but the average upside accuracy is 57.45% with an average upside thrust of 44.69%. We are waiting for this signal to happen, though. In order for us to make sure that we can fire the signal, we need both volatility. Let me just make this bigger. We need both the volatility component, which is this spectrum line, and the moving average, both pivoted towards the upside and above the 15% line. Okay, so as soon as we can get that, then and alongside, momentum still pivoted towards the upside, then we can start applying the 44% move to the upside. So let's just say that from the current price action, let me see what happened after market. So 611, 608. Okay, so let's just say that from the current price action, let's just say that we were already there, right? And we faced a 44.69% move to the upside per back test. Let's measure it. So 44, wow, let's see. 44 spot, this will do it here. It's suggesting for us to go up to 884, which is very curious, actually, because the upside, sorry about this. This was wrong. So the upside that we're facing right now would essentially be the upside that we faced on December 1st, 2022. Huge bull trap, by the way, which had an upside high of about 915. Okay, so this is still very curious that AMC would be statistically saying that we can make a move up to this area here, the resistance between 884 and 915 within actually a pretty significantly short time frame. The other thing that we can focus on is the fact that this is a descending channel and it is a reversal signal on its own. And we've actually been writing this since August of 2022. And now have broken out and validated that newly converted resistance into support, right? And now are continuing on that upside, which usually reflects a potential incoming just reversal all in its own. I'm talking about upside targets, which is also confluent to what we've been talking about regarding the pivoting of the broader markets, already finding that low, meaning that the macro low here for AMC could have been printed back here in January 10th of $3.77, of which we may not ever see again, unless this thing just had like some like horrible bad news, right? So yeah, so I'm talking, this is just that new higher low that we made in the macro perspective, which is a very good thing. Oh, sorry, these are all my notes from the back test. It really takes a lot of time to do this. So it looks like we're now starting this ascent, and it is being respected in the macro space. So there's also one more perspective that I want to show regarding AMC, because we were looking at this in the previous live stream, and I was particularly curious about the positioning of the price action, and I really did like it. So this was the one right here. I'm happy that I actually titled it so that we can all evaluate it. Also within the daily, by the way. So this is a broadening descending wedge, right? So we're looking at test number 1, 2, 3, and now we come back down and test number 4, right? So number 4 is usually that true breakout test, and that SMA 100 is being used as a form of resistance. Also, check this out. The target of about $9.10, right? So what did we say before on the back test? It was around $8 or $9 too. And I want to show you why though. So let's see that. So we're talking about 880 for this, for the statistical upside, right? 883, and then the upside of this previous candle iteration was about 914. Okay, let's go back to this. We have a freaking Kerp and Derp over here. Okay, so this is suggesting an upside to about $9.10. Yet again, confluence. Okay, so aside from this area that we're stopping at is very curious because of a resistance level on this trend line that I'm going to expand now. Okay, let's make it a solid line and then start zooming out. We're writing a macro descending broadening wedge. So this is kind of a tri formation of sorts. We have a broadening descending wedge within a broadening descending wedge, right? And then we also have the cup and handle suggesting that upside continuation, right? So this is, I hate this formation really. It doesn't have a good hit rate. So opposed to like a formation like the broadening descending wedge, which is, by the way, only psychologically backed. It only has sentiment. It doesn't have a mathematical property. It has price objectives, right? So the upside price objective per this macro time frame broadening descending wedge is located at $40.07. That's per the playbook rules of how to trade this. So we are at test number 1, 2, 3, 4. We capitulate, and now we're potentially making that attempt to break out on test number 5. Upon breaking out on test number 5, which could be possible since the sentiment is actually going so nuts about this online, StockTwits and YouTube and whatever else, it's suggesting the top side of this broadening descending wedge to be at about $10.79, right? So meaning that if we did face that $10.90 or 79 cents, just like every other broadening descending wedge, like here's not this one. I want to show you CEOS. COSM is still working on it. So just like we did with CEOS, we touched the target of the take profit zone or the price objective, and we sell off and then reaccumulate for an upside. Just like that, and also like GTII. GTII also has that formation. It just realized. So this is the broadening descending wedge right over here, right? And we just came to touch that resistance level and we sold off, right? So this is that take profit. So what I'm saying here in this formation is that it's very likely that we can face a huge resistance here, sell off to start testing our newly converted resistance, which was a resistance, into support before a continuation to the upside for a few weeks, for a few months, and then eventually touching that $40.10 zone. Now, if I'm going to give you guys the most biggest, I'm talking about the gnarliest, gnarly hopium here. And it's I mean, it is in respects to the placement of the price action. I actually spotted a huge ascending channel. And this is very curious that this formation is building from the very top side of it, and we floored. So meaning that we already found the floor, just like in respects to the broader markets, like I said, if you recall correctly, right? So we found that floor already, and we're making a series of higher highs. So meaning that this would essentially be that retracement period. Now, if I'm looking at a top side target here, this is honestly so stupid to freaking say even, but it's located at 191.38 alongside the 4.618. So this is a macro scale ascending channel, right? So I am gonna sell at 40.24. I don't give a hell how, I whatever chance I can get at break even, I'm probably out. I don't wanna hold this any longer. AMC's on my bad side. I don't like it. It's because of just whatever else. It's just too much. Like, I hated that we bought into a bear market. Like, that sucks, man. That's a very good question, Cryptic Trader. How does the merger with Ape affect this? But a lot of people are saying, a lot of people are asking this actually. They're asking, is it the valuation of AMC asset plus the dividend? Or what? But if you remember correctly, man, I remember when it was announced, as Arca, Arca only had in Twitter maybe 100 followers at the time, right? So I'm almost at 3,000 now, but I was very tiny. And I was telling people, this dividend is the end of AMC. Stop. We're gonna continue. This is a very weird way of dilution. Stop. Say no. Right? So I wasn't loud enough to say that to a lot of people. So I said we're gonna capitulate if we make this thing happen. And of course, it went down. Nobody listened because nobody heard. I was a little tiny cricket. So if you remember correctly, when the dividend was released, it was split. It wasn't actually, and it was supposed to run in tandem too, alongside the AMC, the Class A stock. So it was supposed to run in tandem, but it went weird. It happened. They gave you the amount that you have split in half, right, of the original investment that you created. So you received 100. So you received 100 shares of the 100 shares that you had, right? So it's direct 50-50 split, except one went 1,000,000% down, and the other one didn't. So that dividend actually didn't really work like a dividend. It actually went against everyone, and they had the ability to continue diluting it as much as they wanted. And they also still had in supply some other ones that weren't even in supply of trading. It was just a huge nightmare. So that is, I'm just asking you for you to remember that it was split half and half. So you received 100 shares of your preferred stock versus the 100 original ones, right? So it's supposed to be, Ape and AMC and Ape merged together, meaning the same valuation. So not Ape plus AMC. So I'm not sure that's, and please remember that I haven't practiced fundamental metrics in over a year, as I found mathematical models to be a little more lucrative for me. So I'm a little rusty at my fundamentals. Okay, so just like GME. So just know for a fact that I'm not actually sure of what's going to happen between the merger. I'm not sure if it's going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be the AMC plus the Ape, or it's just going to be the AMC and Ape valuated at the same amount, but then you're going to realize it in your actual holdings, meaning that your portfolio holdings may drop the moment that they merge them together. So man, it's a really touchy situation here. So Cryptic Trader saying, yeah, GME didn't have Adam Marin killing it. No, they had that. What's his name? He's a good CEO. He's a good guy. Right, so AMC is, we're not gonna rate this one, okay, you guys. We're not gonna rate this one because this one has a lot of a lot of sentiment, and I am noticing that I don't want to call any YouTuber a pumper, but I am noticing that there is a lot of sentiment being poured into AMC. And remember, AMC and GME are among the first. They're the OGs to the ape communities, right? So meaning that AMC has, just if you thought like BBIG had a lot of people, I'm talking AMC's a tyrant. It's just huge, right? So and also it has a lot of influencers who have been around for a long time pumping the stock too. So I'm going to leave it at that. If they can pump it to the upside, then please, by all means, do that, because I would love to regain or recoup a massive loss there, as a lot of you know already, that I went in when this was valuated at about $52 from the 70, right? I went in with an initial like $5,000, and then when it dropped to about $40, maybe 41 or 39, maybe, I went in with another $2,000, and then when it dropped to 35, I realized that the math was working against me. 35 or 36, I forget, but I stopped averaging down. I added another $1,000 around that time, and I just stopped, and I'm like, oh my God. I immediately learned that, like, yeah, vertigo, absolutely. This is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is the reason why I practice what I'm doing, is because I'm bag holding AMC, and I just left it there because it's 80 something. Guys, the $8,000 were worth like $800 at one point. Vertigo, I've only been trading for 15 months, so I dove into the books pretty hard after I started seeing that somebody else was receiving that. Like, who was receiving that money? Like, I was so curious about who was getting the other side. I was like, how can I be in that side? And trust me when I say, my dude, I figured it out. T Wood, Arca, I bought it at 6 and didn't sell at 73. No. Bro, 6? How many shares did you get? No, are you serious? Mark Roach, AMC enterprise value at 12 billion and market cap is 3 billion. Yeah. Undervalued? I don't know. Oh my God. Cryptic trader in at 5. My goodness. I have family members who got in at 9 and took profits at 50. Right? And told me to buy at 50. Cryptic trader, 10,000 shares at $5 and it went to 70. Dude, you must have been a millionaire. And then remember how I say sometimes, like, your account is just, you don't want to be that, like, you don't want to be the guy that's just sees your account go to 1 million and then worth like $1. You know, you're gonna be rich for a quick second. Devin, no, I've never shorted AMC. The only to be completely transparent with everybody here in the chat, the only short position I currently have is Pfizer. Because I don't like them. Mark Roach, 12 billion enterprise value and 3 billion market cap. The math says undervalued. Doesn't sound right. I mean, I know that they're doing some pretty good stuff. I know that they've actually bought out a couple, I think Cinemarks, right? So the CEO is doing whatever is best for his company. He's not really looking out for the shareholders as per expected from CEOs. Not everybody fights the short sellers or predatory price action, right? So, and in fact, this is another reason why I practiced the way I did. I wanted to know the short perspective. So I started learning supply and demand. I started learning statistics, some calculus. I started learning formation analysis, the probabilities between formation analysis, and I studied a great deal of psychology over these last 15 months. And I don't know what happened. Just if you want to get a type of a secret recipe, right, to make somebody like really make something of their lives, then this is the concoction here. It was okay, so threaten his 2-year-old's life, right? Take 2 of his jobs over the span of 2.5 years. Threaten his house. Take his dog away. Like, that's the magical concoction to whatever could be happening to me. Right? So that whatever happened to me actually flipped the switch, and I'll never go back. I'm not the same person. I'm really not. Tamir, you're saying I could get a glass account open, so no, not NFTs, man. Yeah, they did release their NFTs. Yeah, you guys. So I'm happy to have answered all these questions. Devin, I'm happy that you respect that, my dude. I respect you too. But yeah, you guys, so we're not going to rate this one. Let's just go ahead and leave it at that. Okay. So AMC, just you remember, there's a lot of sentiment behind this one, and we just have to kind of, you know, move along. Whatever the hell is going to happen with that. So Chase Cross, 78 watching, 40 likes. Arca, no more good info. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. So actually, JDXL, I will go ahead and add it, but trust me when I say there's a lot more tickers that I will not be able to cover tonight. But I will add it for you nonetheless, my friend. Okay, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow too, so please be sure to come by. So you said ticker symbol BOIL. That's actually, I've gotten a lot of requests for that. Tamir is saying, I think most people to make their money back on AMC, it needs to pass $20. Yeah, my average is actually like $23, I think 22, around there. So yeah, most people in the green would absolutely need to get this thing minimum $21. Which, by the way, I'm tax free on that. I've been holding it for 15 months. So literally the entire amount of time that I've been trading, that I've been learning, I've been holding AMC, and it was in respects to me losing money. I didn't understand why or how somebody else was getting just thousands of dollars. I'm like, who is that? Like, how are they making that happen for themselves? So I'm telling you, I started gaining the perspective of short sellers. I started learning their strategies. And this is why, this is why a lot of people are saying, you're getting paid by the shorts. Yeah, Arca, you moved the market. They're saying, Arca, you're the short seller. You're the reason why everything's dropping. Right? So I wish that were true. That would be cool, right? But no, definitely not. But I did learn the short perspective so I can understand and then pass it along to retail to show them how the play works and how the exchange and the shake of hands between short sellers and longs happens, and everyone else who's not in the know is just used as liquidity. And I'm talking about the long trader and the short trader using liquidity of retail just as predatory as each other. So I also didn't like that. So I wanted to bring in kind of an even touch to that. And this is why I'm shadow banned in Twitter, because I'm giving the truth and I don't care. I'm going to say what I want to say and that's it. You know, so I'm aggressive like that because it's free speech, you know, but I mean, they could shadow ban me all they want. It's still growing like crazy. So because of thankfully to you, you know, thanks to all of you. So, guys, I actually want to take a look at ticker symbol AI. This was, I think Moon was the one who brought this in, and that thing went to the moon, right? So, no pun intended, of course, but very, very cool stuff. I've had Amazon on the list, but I'm not gonna be able to get to it. But I will put it on. Okay, I'll try to put it on for tomorrow if that's okay. Preach it, my man, says T Wood. Yeah, man, I don't care, guys. I really am doing this for all of you, like, and also because I think everybody, including myself, deserves financial freedom, and to do that, it does require kind of an effort, right? So that effort is in respects to learning the rules of a game, right? You don't want to. You know what? I actually tried to look for the interview, and I thought it was Citadel's. What's his name again, guys? Citadel's. Damn it, I'm blanking on his name. Throw it in. Who's Citadel's founder? Citadel's CEO, the chairman, Ken Griffin. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, dude. So, Ken Griffin, I was looking for this interview that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I'm actually thinking that it may not have been him at this point. Yeah, Kenny G. So, he, I think it was, I'm not sure though now, because I'm really looking for it. I want to show you guys what turned the page for me. And he said in an interview, again, allegedly right? So, it was following up to why, me trying to learn why money was being lost from AMC, right? So he said, well, he goes, do you honestly think that you can step into the Staples Center basketball court and play against Kobe Bryant and expect to win? And he goes, so if you don't, then what makes you think that you can jump onto my court and win? Oh, dude. Oh my God. that irked so bad. That really hit the spot. And family and close friends know that I'm very competitive, and I try not to be. Right. And I've actually humbled myself from that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. But it really irked me. So then I started understanding what his company did. So I started to see who he hired. I started to follow his paper trail and started to see the type of talent that he found and the type of people that he would look for. So I started studying what they studied, and I found that statistics was the number one study that they use for their mathematical models that we know as high frequency trading systems, or HFTs. You see them all the time, and you see them on price action too. Algorithmic trading. I wanted to know what that was. As soon as he said that, what makes you think that you can play in my court and win? Oh man, that pissed me off. That pissed me off so bad, because I don't like to be taken advantage of like that, right? So that was the turning point for sure, alongside my son. But that was really impactful for me, and he was right, and I have him to thank, and also him to blame. He's taken almost all of my money, right, and also gave me all of the skill at the same time. So it's a love-hate relationship between me and Ken Griffin. I hope I get to meet him one day and tell him how much I hate him and love him. So as he's gonna know that you got here for a reason, right? Maybe I should get hired and go into Citadel, and let's see what really happens. Talk about insider trading for the Arca Bulls community. Hit that like button. Oh my goodness. Guys, by the way, I have been offered institutional positions already. One of them being a risk management asset, one of them being MEXC Global and Bybit at their proprietary trading desk. So very interesting things happen over the last 15 months. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a real table turner, right? So when the tables have turned, they really turn. So yeah, ticker symbol AI. Let's go ahead and move on to that one. Man, Ken would love me. He probably would, but then he would really hate me because I don't know. I don't even want to say it. T Wood. Yeah, I don't know that I would be comfortable in an institutional proprietary trading desk. I'm not sure that I would be comfortable because, first of all, I'm not going to be by my son, and I get to be with him every day. My 3-year-old boy, and I love that, and I get to be with my daughter too. She's in college and stuff. She's home, so I love it. So no complaints there whatsoever. Isn't his internet a bit faster than normal? His trading system has access to direct order market routing, so. Meaning that he has a direct line for market order execution. So it's down to the milliseconds. So that means that they can short and long at will. And I'm talking about direct order entry, meaning that if the bid and ask spread is saying 15 cents versus 4 cents, a huge wide spread, right? And he wants to long, he'll long that 2 cent because it's such a fast execution. And we honestly, we have the ability to reach that too. Actually, Cryptic Trader is one of those. Cryptic Trader here in the chat, he has Dash Trader. He's with Interactive Brokers. So we can buy a Bloomberg terminal to take out. Yeah, I've actually thought about that too. Quite expensive though. Huge money. But let me start prepping AI for us to look at, right, you guys? So the one that I started earlier and I totally degaffed, right? So I don't know why I did that. Oh my goodness. Do I even still have it open? There it is. Good stuff. BetaBot, we are going to have a Black Swan event starting now. Man, probably, right? That would be interesting. Cryptic Trader, we can buy it. Yeah. I read that thing. Let's see. We might bottom on the 16th. Man, honestly, I think that bottom hit actually a month ago. We could be in the process of just a macro scale reversal. I'm talking broader market space too. Get an AI system to trade. T Wood, that's what I'm in the works for automated trading. I don't want to pay attention to the charts anymore. Like I really just want to leave my trading system and make adjustments as I go. Algorithmic. We can all do that. Anyone can do that, really. Cryptic Trader saying I use my DAS to trade 5-minute. Yeah, order routing on scalp trades is so good with DAS Trader. So it's just right now it's not a good time for me to hold something like that, as it does cost money for you to have it. So BetaBot, the weekly death cross is here, and is the past monthly death cross is dead. Wait. Actually, I thought that on the weekly we just got a silver cross, wasn't it? The 55 over the 21 EMA. I'm not sure. I haven't even checked it myself. Yeah. 250 a month. That was what I was paying. That's what I was paying before. But then just Ken Griffin took my money, so I couldn't afford it. So, oh my goodness. So anyway, you guys, let me go ahead and now start ticker symbol AI. And guys, I will have room for one more ticker after this. Okay, so we're gonna look at CRTD after AI, and we will absolutely push the following tickers for the next session. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and now focus in on that next one. So 11:15 p.m. Yes. Thank you, my brother. 11:15 p.m. officially starting ticker symbol AI. So I remember I started it, right? But either way, the take profit happened per the traditional trading book rules here of the broadening descending wedge, and of course it's starting to sell off. The rating that we gave it was a B-, which was very, very lucrative. So we were down here somewhere. Right, and then I suggested that the take profit could be located in share. Well, it has confluence with the 2.618 at 27.30, and 27.60 being the top side target. The candle actually reached a high of 28.48. Okay, let's just go ahead and evaluate what we're looking at. There's still one more target that I was eyeballing, in particular to this gap here. And this gap would actually be used as a resistance potentially at that 4.236, 32.05. But we need to validate the potentials of the upside or continuation for this asset in general. So now we can go ahead and take over where we first started in the first ticker, right? So 30-minute immediate short-term time frame. Following the SMAs very nicely, particular to the SMA 10 and the EMA 7, they're being closely watched by the scalpers, okay, by the day traders, which is actually a good thing. We would need, even for GTII, like things like that, we need scalpers and day traders to keep the momentum moving, and that would essentially serve as liquidity for everybody. Okay, so. There is, let's open up the momentum profile. So we'll do RSI in this case. Okay, so the RSI is suggesting an upside continuation even still. The fact that it's a limited upside continuation because of that 14-day simple moving average above us leads me to believe that we're going to top out once again at that 27.70, which is the take profit of the broadening descending wedge. So let's go ahead and now move on to the buy hourly and see what it has. Okay, so buy hourly is still suggesting an upside continuation, and we broke the regression. Very bullish. Okay, so if we were to retrace, buy hourly still lives out pretty fast, only within a few hours. Okay, so if we were to retrace, we can actually find support from both the 14-day simple and the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile. So this would be pretty good for us to reaccumulate, but no guarantee. This is actually still pivoted towards the upside. The 6 hour is still suggesting an upside continuation, and I can see a slight weakness coming in, which is, I mean, this is huge upside. You know, it's only expected, but let's go ahead and keep moving on, building our puzzle pieces here. Okay, so in respects to the 12 hour, this is really high. So we're looking at 86.32%, And historically, we've never actually touched this high. Okay, so now this starts to become a little more likely to face some type of weakness somewhere. The upside continuation is still there, which is now still making me feel like the relevance of that 4-spot 236, 3213 may be that area of resistance. Let's continue validating though. The daily time frame is just still moonshotting over here, right? There's no give on this. This is very, very, very strong. The bi-daily, wow, still upside. Historically speaking, topped already. Nothing else here for us to gain some type of a correlation. The 3-day is still suggesting upside. So guys, this upside is as far as momentum, the momentum can't tell us anything other than it's favoring the upside. So the next best thing for us to rely on would be technical targets and also geometrics. So I would really consider geometrics as the end all be all for this type of situation. Okay, the 5-day is still suggesting massive upside as well, meaning that this thing could. The only way that the upper term timeframes are going to be flashed to the downside is if we start selling off in the shorter term timeframes, which could happen. I mean, this thing made some people a lot of money. So take profits could essentially happen. And I am thinking that could be at 32.21. Best case scenario could be at 33.53, but I'm really favoring 32.21 as that overall area to open, to get short this stock. And I think that's what the shorts are waiting for. They're waiting for this target here to kind of hit and use the minimal people who are selling alongside their downside pressure. So they're going to use a little bit of selling from whoever thinks is going to continue to moonshot and pressure it to the downside. Guys, people like I started reading books from Andrew Aziz. And that guy is he's like kind of a huge gambler, right? he's a very discretionary day trader, and this guy will enter 80 grand in a trade. Okay, so if you're talking about entering 80 grand up here, you short, okay, and getting short this stock $80,000 at this level would certainly pressure the downside heavily, and that is the type of flash that I'm talking about. That would be needed in order to kind of change the bias for the bi-daily and up, because all of these are still suggesting massive upside. The thing here is that there's no historical anything to be able to tell. As soon as we do something like this, let me go ahead and draw it, okay? Let me make it a little bit of a bigger perspective here and get a little bit of a drawing tool. So as soon as we do something like this, right? That would be the first confirmation of the biggest the drives of bearish divergence that you can ever experience, particular to this one right over here. Okay, so that would be even if we actually did that, I would honestly favor maybe, let me see, do we have a higher iteration? It would actually be this here. Yeah, this would be the one here. So it would essentially look like this. Okay, so we face the touch right over here, and then the opposition of price action versus momentum. In this case, looking at that 2-spot 236, right? So we can put it right there like that. So having the opposition of price action versus momentum creates a hidden bearish divergence, right? A drive. And that you would start to see them stack up. Like this one is another one here. This one is another one. This one is another one. And they're all going to be stacking and stacking. And then this thing would capitulate hard. And that next zone on the 3-day time frame, the 14-day simple moving average on the 3-day, that's relevant. That's relevant to the 100-day simple at about $18. And I'm talking about retracing from 32 to 18, immediate 60% loss, or well, more actually. It would be a lot bigger because downside, right? So capitulation could be 41% actually. So that's not good. Okay, so I think this thing still has a little bit of juice to go. All right, so be very careful. Be very careful with this, as I already see the weakness coming in. Okay, and not particular to the bias that I'm getting from the upper term timeframes, because these are still bullish. It's in respects to the resistance levels in relation to the very little amount of historical value we have. So all of that combined with each other means that there's only so much upside that we can face with this before somebody starts to get too nervous, which is usually a lot of people all at once and usually at one target. So just like it is for work, you got to get to work at 8:30 in the 9:30 in the morning, right? So for some reason you live in LA or NYC or Chicago or something, right? And then you know that your drive is like 30 miles long and work starts at 9:30, but still you leave at 8:45. Like, why would you, don't do that. Everybody tends to leave at 8:45. Why would you leave at 8:45 when everybody leaves at 8:45? You're going to hit that massive amount of traffic, right? So just like that. So don't be part of the mass, try to think about this in earlier perspectives. Another thing is that the candles went just normally, right? Small, getting larger, and then it's starting to get a little smaller. So this is already an indication of a loss of strength. Okay, another indication is the fact that the next candle that we printed is a little bit lesser than the one from before in volume, right? Volume perspective. So 101 million, massive volume. The prior one was 10 million more. So 10 million in volume drop. It's a lot. Okay, you guys. Devin, this I actually have CRTD left, and I will add it next to PBTS for you, my dude. So we'll go ahead and look over Zella as well. I actually released a video on it. I'm not sure if it was... Oh, wait. Did I release a video on it for this Monday? Maybe. But I'll go ahead and add it on the list nonetheless, my dudes. So now let's go ahead and end this analysis, guys. Let's not rate this just yet because I'm afraid of trapping people who are new to the trade. Okay, so let's not leave this with any type of rating. I'm worried for people who want to get long this and expect a moonshot, because it could happen, based on catalysts, based on company models and stuff. But we're not sure. We're not sure like definitively that is the probability. So because of that is why I will not rate this. Okay, so no rating, although this was already rated before as a B+, which already played out. All right, so, and it was a good call, by the way. I think we were sitting at about $21, and this thing reached $28, so substantial gain. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and now look at ticker symbol CRTD. That ticker, man, has it given me some silliness. And the last time I actually talked about this was actually in respects to the average true range, and it was still favoring upside. Okay, so we're going to officially start off CRTD at 11:27 p.m. So let's go ahead and get that moving. Okay, CRTD. So in respects to this crazy chart, all these lines that you're looking at is me actually trying to make a back test of volatility versus momentum, particularly from the contraction phase to the expansion phase, because it looks like we have been making upsides based on that contraction. Just like here, we reached critical contraction within the 15th percentile, price went up, right? So this is another one here. Critical contraction, started expansion phase, price went up. So we have several iterations to where that actually happened. So this has gotten me like so curious. So this is the fact that we're at. I mean, let me see. Actually, no way. Wow. Okay. So this iteration of contraction has been the largest iteration historically speaking on the daily. Oh, this is CTRM. Sorry, guys. Thanks, T-Wood. I hate it. Look at the title up here. CTR, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, so let's go ahead and load it. My apologies, guys. That's 2 drops, man. That's 2 drops in a day. CRTD. All right. So. Let's see what we have. You know, when the kid's waiting to leave school early, they're saying half day today, minimum day, right? So we're going to be leaving today, and this is another reason. Oh my goodness. I gotta get these away from each other. Look at CTRM giving me huge dyslexia, and then also with a bunch of lines over here, right? So, oh man, oh, things are getting juicy for CRTD. Jesus, are these supposed to be running in tandem? I'm talking about GTII and CRTD because I know that they're the merger and all that stuff, right? But this is getting really close to an overbought level in momentum, which paired alongside critical contraction, just like stupid CTRM, and it's now suggesting an expansion phase. I'm wondering if this is about to correct soon, meaning that we can face a little bit of a downside in CRTD. I said downside the last time, so it has happened, and I promise you, I don't want to say that because I know the sentiment gets really bent over this, right? But the good thing here is that we're building on the 8-hour time frame. This is a good thing. Okay, so we're building actually a falling wedge, and these falling wedges usually present a potential continuation to the upside. If we faced the floor, which is very possible, then this could be setting up for a reversal soon. Okay, so the only thing is that I would like for the triangle to be, for the price action to start reversing, and then if eventually make the upside move to maybe here, not where we are. This is it's premature breakout, and a lot of the times premature breakouts tend to kind of fake out, right? They won't actually make the move, but. Another thing is that there is a very, very strong area of demand, and it's funny that I have to look at this as demand and supply. I can't look at this as formation. This is one area of demand that we can look at, located between 56.25 and about 52.93. The next relevant area of demand would actually be between 44.82 and 40.97. So there's two relevant targets here to the downside. The reason why we sold off is because we were at supply and tested it 3 times. Testing that resistance 3 times is no good. So that would obviously give us a capitulation event. So if we're looking at this supply down here, then this would essentially mean that we're going to be riding a wave until we find that support at 53.07, potentially Wednesday, February 15th. Very discretionary, by the way. Don't take that seriously, okay? Because I'm just saying that there is a probability that we can be in consolidation until about a week or two or whatever, and then make that true breakout attempt, which falls in line with the demand zone. Okay, so let's continue validating this though, because I want to know, aside from this momentum profile, I want to know what the RSI actually has to say, because the RSI and I are very good friends, right? So here you go, 8-hour time frame still suggesting a massive downside. Let me go to the 30-minute though. Let's start it off early. Consolidation for the 30-minute, which is already been happening. You can see this. We've been trading this range on the 30-minute iterations, and this was towards the end of the session on Friday. So let's look at the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly suggesting a limited upside. Okay, so limited upside, meaning that we can actually face some resistance at about 64 cents. 63 cents would be actually my absolute preference before a continuation to the downside, but let's validate because this could have more upside. Okay, well, 6 hours suggesting downside, so that's validating my thesis to go up to 63 cents, followed by a continuation to the downside. Let's go to the 8-hour just in case. I'm going to go smaller time frame. 8-hour is jumping into the bear strength percentile. Okay, we are still using that 14-day simple as a resistance. Okay, so CRTD is very likely coming down a little bit more. 12-hour now at the border between bear weakness and bear strength, and we have been using that 14-day simple as a resistance as well. Okay, so let's go to the daily. Daily, very similar to that 12-hour, still downside suggestion at that border. Bi-daily, it looks okay. So in the bi-daily, it looks like this is where we may start to kind of ease off of the sell pressure, but it's still downside. Okay, so let's see the 3-day, 3-day downside pivot, and also the 5-day downside pivot. Okay, so yeah, what I'm telling you may actually may actually happen, except that we may find a bounce literally starting tomorrow. We may find a bounce from about 56 cents to test our current lows of 60 cents and then start this like thing, right? Zigzags and finding the resistance within this formation and then eventually start to make that upside. But it still has a lot to solidify first. CRTD definitely has some accumulation. I wouldn't call this a reversal or the stock is done. None of that. In fact, I actually see that in a macro perspective, this is in a very bullish formation, and it's actually trying to maintain whatever it's gained. So if we're looking at it, I need you to focus on this perspective too. Okay, so I need you to know that currently we're at 1,155% up, although we've been falling. So we're still over 1,000% up from October 2022. It's just been a few months. And this consolidation period is absolutely normal. We have to do this, and the asset is pensive. The psychology behind this is pensive. You know, it looks like we're waiting for some solidifications of catalysts of sorts, right? But price action is still suggesting to trade this falling wedge, which is bullish, right? So upon the breakout out of this wedge, if we were to break out of here, the target would be our recent highs. It would actually be about 70 cents, and I'm talking about retracing from about 53 cents. So that would be a great long position, but I don't see that happening for 2 or 3 weeks. So CRTD still has some loading to happen. Okay, so we're not gonna rate this one because it does have some continuation to consider. Mark Roach, little boy James, ready for daddy. He absolutely is, man. Arca plus RSI equals thesis. Oh man. So T-Wood, does average down make sense on CRTD? You talked about average down is tricky. Do you remember, T-Wood, how I described it? Were you there when I described it by chance? And also averaging down from where? Where were you, or what's the cost basis, right? So you don't have to say how much or anything. You can just say the cost basis versus the average location, because that, man, the only place I would consider averaging down would be now on AMC. Oh my goodness. Beta bot, yeah, that's actually something that I talked about within Discord. That I was feeling that crypto was a little frothy. And it was already, it's in a broadening ascending wedge too on a daily. So we already tested test number 3. So that's saying all kinds of silliness. I was talking to Cal about it too. So T would say at 70 cents. Okay, so let me see. 70. Let's measure it. To the potential drop zone. If I were to average down, I would actually do it no more than 56.20, but ideally would be like around 54 cents. Because there could be kind of a substantial bounce from there. So if you're able to bring your cost basis from 70 cents to say maybe 66 or 65 cents. So then the upside from the average down that you got would actually be a little easier to reach. Right, but don't I wouldn't start averaging down like tomorrow. I would actually wait for maybe 54 cents. I mean, tomorrow very likely we can touch 56, but 54 cents to about 53 cents, that would be insane. And that would be a good place too. You know, I'm not usually a fan of averaging down because and usually my entries are sometimes 2 to 3 entries starting from the bottom up. I'm scaling in, I'm averaging up. So meaning that I find the absolute bottom as best as I could and start averaging up from there. So I'll scale in and add risk as I get validations to the upside, rather than how a lot of people look at it as averaging down. So, and you see, a lot of people would see it as like, well, you're kind of ruining your cost basis. That was also in the intention. It was in the intention that I was going to end up with this type of cost basis with this type of risk. So it was already in play. It was already a plan. Right. So you'll see that in the Arca strategy trades. You'll see the entry number ones being below the entry number 2. That's not bad either. I play like that too, T-Wood. I do plays to where I'm just I enter just the one entry and then I exit just the one exit as well. I play that, but that's I play those with B- to A+ trades. Nothing less. And I wouldn't consider a C+ trade either. And that's why we rate these trades, you know, so that we know how much portfolio that we can use or we can risk. But always respect your risk management. All right. So, and guys, yeah, so that's it for tonight. But I want to make sure that everybody reaches for the description below, right? For those for the first of all, for the indicators, the DM. I'm talking about Twitter, Discord. Make sure to join up, right? And Tamir, not sure I want to stay in CRTD. I may exit this morning. There are better plays. I mean, if you're in the green, that would be good. All right, so just be careful with your your longs, right? So because there could be a bounce, but it's just that bounce may not happen for some time. Remember, any of this can be invalidated the moment that some news gets released. This thing will likely just rip to the upside. So minus 530. BTC losing $500 is kind of a sneeze, you know. So, I wouldn't be too worried about that. It's when we lose $800 to about $1,200. That's when it starts getting weird. But to be fair to whoever is hearing me talk about this, I've already expressed the overbought of BTC and the needing, also the DXY, the dollar index, it's on its way up. So when we're talking about macro perspective, weekly time frames, like large scale time frames, the DXY going up actually puts pressure on risk on assets and BTC inversely. So meaning that BTC on spot price action and futures can drop alongside risk on assets. So like all of our stocks, Tesla, all of that, the SPY. So oil is also going to go up. And we're at a weird support level that it respected nicely. I'm talking about the Dixie. So the dollar index is very likely going to continue to the upside or going to start an upside, pressuring our gas to be again more expensive. So just keep an eye on what you're purchasing. Okay, but yeah, there could be a little bit of a risk on traditional stocks. And it's not a macro risk. It's actually just a short-term risk, because I honestly think that our bottom was already put. But like I said, I think we still have a leg down. All right, you guys. So, guys, I'm very happy to have streamed tonight with all of you. So please know that I'm absolutely going to be live tomorrow, and I will also be taking a look at the tickers that we couldn't look at today. Okay, you guys. So, but moderators, thank you so much for all of your help. And T Wood, happy to have you on the team, my man. Sebastian Lim, CTRM does look good, my dude. I think that may be an edge play that we got to put in there, right? So now, Devin, thank you so much for stopping by as well, man. So really appreciate everybody in the chat today, you guys. So if any questions, please go ahead and refer to me on Twitter and on Discord. Cryptic Trader, happy to have you here. Beta Bot, happy to have you. Friends, good to see you here. Good to see you here. So Samantha H, I'm not sure if I saw Hound, and DJ, appreciate you guys so much. Please, Mark Roach, send me that. I'll send you the I'll send you that request, right? And then we'll be cool. So Cal L, love you guys. So that's it for tonight, guys. I wish you all a very good night, and I will catch you all at the bell mañana. Adios.